well-trained dog. Now with extra chips, Cookie Crisp, here we come. Uh-oh.
Nice of you to drop in, boys. Too bad you won't be enjoying any Cookie Crisp cereal. A delicious part of this nutritious breakfast.
Oh, got it.
No other cereal tastes like this.
Oh.
Cookie Crisp.
Meteorologist Dave Eichhorn making a difference on 9 News.
The following is a very special presentation from the kind people at WIXT Central New York 9. Thank you kindly.
To the 17th.
All over Central New York, Irish pride shines the year round. But on St. Patrick's Day, on St. Patrick's Day, it bursts forth like the shamrocks in the spring. The orange and the green, and peace in between. This is the 8th annual Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade, live from downtown Syracuse on Central New York 9. Here are your hosts, Dan Cummings and Rick Gary themselves.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the St. Patrick's Day Parade in wet downtown Syracuse for today. And the top of the morning to you, Dan.
And to you, Rick, as well.
Thank you.
The orange and the green with peace in between. And as everybody knows by now, quite a few raindrops that we got to step in between today as well.
It's unfortunate. The weather I don't think, has ever really been with us in a St. Patrick's Day Parade. However, we come close today as being, I guess, one of the warmest St. Patrick's Day Parades.
It's very comfortable. And it's turned into a light drizzle. Comfortable enough to stand in, especially if you got a bumper chute.
Yeah, you certainly have to have the equipment to be on it today. People with their raincoats on and their rain suits on. And I've heard that possibility does exist that it will let up. And we had a couple of years ago, the Mummers in the parade. The first year they were in the parade, it was kind of a dismal day to start with. And when the Mummers came down Sláinte Street and started marching, the sun came out. So we may have the luck of the Irish with us today yet.
And, of course, we're at the intersection of Sláinte and Onondaga Streets, right in the heart of downtown Syracuse. This 8th annual parade stepping off from Clinton Square, several blocks to the north, and we're told it has now begun.
And it has.
And the First Division will be passing before you know it. So, the parade committee, of course, is always an extremely important part of any St. Patrick's Parade. Nancy Duffy, of course, a key organizer. And this year, we couldn't have probably picked a better pair of grand marshals to represent the orange and the green with peace in between. One has very close ties to the Syracuse University Orange football program, and the other, of course, has made a very substantial reputation by selling green beer. Tim Fox now takes a look at this year's parade grand marshals, the play lady and the pub keeper.
All you do is put your thumbs at the corners of your mouth, like this, and you turn them up into a smile.
A smile was the magic key to the wonderful magic toy shop for parts of 4 decades. The show was developed much the same way as Sesame Street, with input from educators and parents. Only earlier, nearly 15 years earlier, Merrily, Eddie Flum-Num, Mr. Trolley, Twinkle, and the Play Lady taught kids to get along and to feel good about themselves.
Talking about this the other day in connection with that California study on self-esteem, they spent $750,000 in 3 years. And our goal was the same. We wanted children to look in the mirror and like the people that look back at them.
Jean Doherty's ties to Syracuse and the Orange began when her brothers played football at SU. One of them was the legendary Duffy Doherty. Jean was working behind the scenes at WHEN-TV in the early 50s when station management ordered a children's program. She first went on the air when Merrily took time off to have a baby and continued through the run of the show. The Magic Toy Shop lasted 27.5 years on what's now WTVH-5. It went off the air in 1982. But as this popular exhibit at the Onondaga Historical Association has proven, the magic lives on through the lessons generations of viewers now share with their own children.
Love makes all things possible, and that you don't judge. We had all those toys living together, and so different and yet so close, and that everybody deserves dignity.
A smile opens a lot of doors on Tipperary Hill, too. The smile beneath this beard. What Santa Claus is to Christmas, Peter Coleman is to St. Patrick's Day in Syracuse. Instead of a tree lighting ceremony, he kicks off the season with the annual green beer delivery.
Smell beer?
There you go. Sláinte. Way to go, Peter.
Perfect.
From the end of Prohibition to 1979, Coleman's was a small neighborhood tavern. That's when this Barnum with a bar rag started the transformation that led to the authentic Irish pub, complete with green beer and leprechaun entrance, all born from the mind of a master showman and master businessman.
I said, well, what's going to make this place famous? So, like, when you come to Syracuse, you have to go to the Dome, the French Fort, but before you leave, you got to go to Coleman's. I think every city, like Bookbinders in Philadelphia or Berghoff's in Chicago, Coleman's in Syracuse, that's kind of my goal.
Now, Peter's renovations haven't been limited to the family business. He's taken on much of the family neighborhood, renovating a lot of the old homes here on Tipperary Hill to bring them up to the same standards that Coleman's has now set.
I believe that the surrounding area around the pub itself is just as important as the pub, because our customers come from all over. And once they get here and have a good experience, and then they're outside, they say, well, my God, even the neighborhood matches. I mean, we got Oil City and we got Franklin Square, and those are all wonderful. How about Tipperary Hill? Huh? Don't we're the same type of people. Maybe a little bit classier up here, though.
Peter and Jane have been staunch supporters of the parade right from the very beginning. Peter, of course, has been a parade commentator for cable television for the parade. And Gene Doherty last night had a show-stopping duet with Winnie Coleman at the Gaelic Gala downtown last night.
Yeah,
you were
the
there.
Galleries. I was there, and I had to leave a little early, Rick, to rest up for today's performance here. But on my way out, Winnie and Gene were doing their thing, and they had the whole Galleries crowd just mesmerized. Everybody looking down from the balcony and right there as they belted out their Irish tunes. And class is what it's all about. Pete Coleman said class.
He said it right. He said it right on Tipperary Hill. Yeah. We were just looking down the street here, and maybe not even a half hour ago, there was hardly anybody lining the streets. And now there is an excellent crowd. And we're going to go right to actually the real head of the parade right down in front of us. And we go to Mike Otis with an elephant, mind you, and a big story.
Rick and Dan, thank you. The weather is not really cooperating that much. It is letting up a little bit, but it's not dampening the spirits of anybody here. And with me right now is Mark Delkey, who came in from Connecticut. Mark, welcome to the Syracuse St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Well, thank you.
And Mark brought with him a special guest who is with us just to our right. And who is this?
This is Minnie. She's a 14-year-old Asian elephant. She weighs about 5,000 pounds, and she's going to help us brave this parade today.
All right, she looks like she's having a pretty good time here. Now, she's down on her knees, and we're going to raise her up, and on top of her is Sherry Driscoll Christie, who's going to raise the Irish flag. So let's get right to it.
All right, Minnie, right up. There we go.
All right, let's kick off the parade here. The 1990, there we go, 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Day Parade is now underway. Dan and Rick, we're going to toss it back to you. No.
All right, Michael. I have never seen a parade kicked off in quite that fashion.
That's the big way to do it, believe me.
I think St. Patrick now is to cooperate with a few prayers from above, and we can lose these bumbershoots and be on our way. The 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade on Central New York 9 is brought to you in part by the Downtown Committee. Downtown has it all. By Jack of Hearts, your floor covering store. And Guinness and Hart, imported Irish beers, distributed locally by Onondaga Beverage Corporation.
The 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade on Central New York 9. Brought to you in part by PNC, the unbeatable price champion. Chapels, serving Central New York since 1895. Your local Chrysler Jeep Eagle dealers. Burger King, home of the new BK Broiler. To get a chicken sandwich this good, sometimes you've got to break the rules. Adirondack Colonial Furniture, the largest S-Bent dealer in Central New York. And by Payless Shoe Source. For value with style, who'd have guessed? Payless.
Hi, I'm Darlene from Adirondack Colonial Furniture.
Darlene would like you to come down and celebrate our 12th anniversary and St. Patrick's Day sale with us. At Adirondack, we have a wide variety of S-Bent furniture. We also have self-storing, gear-driven innkeeper's tables.
What a mess. Don't worry, because my mom just bought a stain-resistant S-Bent table at Adirondack Colonial Furniture.
Select from rockers, hutches, and many more pieces. Adirondack Colonial Furniture, corner of Fly Road and Route 298.
It's a fact of life. If you own a car, you have to take care of it. If you don't take care of it, it won't take care of you. Burt Chevrolet introduced a new concept in auto service, team service. What does this mean to you? Because a service team works on your car, you get better quality work in less time, and it costs less. As a result, the shop is better organized, cleaner, more modern. It's worked so well in the service department that Burt has recently expanded team service to the body shop. Burt Chevrolet Geo, home of team service, Route 104 East, Oswego.
Puffs. Puffs are softer when you wake up, softer when you blow, softer when you're sneezing or when you're on the go. Puffs are made to be softer, to be nicer to your nose.
Puffs, with softer fibers outside and strong ones inside. So Puffs are softer than the leading brands. Strong, too.
For all the times you need them, it's really nice to know Puffs are made to be softer, to be nicer to your nose.
Puffs, they're nicer to your nose.
All right, in today's parade, we got a lot of parade for you, about 3 hours worth here with 300 floats, 60 bands, 12 pipe bands. We had an elephant. You'll see a camel a little bit later on. Lots of activity, lots of excitement, despite the weather. It's Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Big afternoon, Rick. Let's not wait any longer to get it started. Rod Wood, 9 News anchorman, take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone, and a happy St. Patrick's Day. Kay Newman of WIXT9 will sing our national anthem. Kay?
Thanks, Rod. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, though bombs bursting in air, waved through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right. Thank you, Kay. All right. These kids that we're going to see next, the O'Keefe dancers, they rehearse all year long. Of course, they deal with nothing but Irish dancing. They've worked very hard at it, and we're pleased to introduce you to them right now, the O'Keefe dancers.
Well, I'll tell you, Rick, that's amazing to see them do that. It's such beautiful. What is even more amazing is in this steady drizzle, they keep their footing so wonderfully on that asphalt pavement.
They've done it so well every year we've had the parade, and it hasn't been the the correct weather, shall I say, to dance like that. Yeah, they do a great job.
Well, practice makes perfect. They have clearly practiced to make it happen that way. We have a little more background on that group. It's more than just live performances for them. Let's take a closer look at the O'Keefe Irish Dancers.
We do this all day. Point your toes. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Kathleen O'Keefe opened her School of Irish Dancing in 1984. Once a week all year long and 3 times a week during the summer, 30 girls and boys from around central New York meet at the Most Holy Rosary School Auditorium to learn traditional Irish steps.
They're all different nationalities. I don't have just Irish kids. I have some Italians, I have some Germans, I have some Polish. You know, they're not all totally Irish. But when they get in here, they're all Irish, though.
The kids learn 2 types of dances, figures or calli, done in a group, with the dancers wearing soft shoes, and step dancing with hard shoes. That hard tapping noise comes from fiberglass tips in the toes and heels, a slight bow to technology.
It used to be nails, but nails got to be too hard to fix and everything like this. So they went into the fiberglass tips, and they make a better sound than they do the nail tips.
The O'Keefe dancers perform throughout the year, dancing out at schools and churches, nursing homes, and senior centers, spreading goodwill and smiles. In the summer, they compete against young people from around the country and around the world.
You know, the competitions are a lot of fun, and, you know, you win awards if you do good. And I just think the competitions are fun, and the dancing out, you know.
In beginner and stuff, you have just one judge watching, and that's scary. And then when you go up to championships, you have 3 judges, and that's really scary.
Our first competition actually is up in Boston in April, and then they go down to New York City, to Buffalo, to Detroit, to Chicago, to Washington, D.C., up to Toronto and Montreal. So they travel all over.
Well, those kids are at it all year long, Rick.
Makes you want to dance yourself.
I know. It stands still, and I don't dance. But they've been rehearsing, learning the new steps and the ones they do at performances, not just locally, but all across the country at competitions. But we may have a little more of them before we leave this segment of our program live. The O'Keefe Irish Dancers?
I think there's a little more spring left in their step.
Let's take a look. Go to it.
Here we go. Music. Sometimes a little confusion in matters like this and dancing, and they getting their music cued and so forth.
The girls were ready.
The girls were ready, and I think they'll dance when we come back, but we're going to go to Mike Price right now.
Mike?
Mike?
Down here in the staging area, it looks like things are about ready to go, rain or shine. Here's some youngsters from the Gingerbread House. That's a nursery school. Are you ready for this, kids, huh? Okay, the rain didn't bother you then, huh? Never. All right, they're ready to go. Over here, this is the drug awareness program here with these kids in their green St. Patrick's Day shirts, and they dared to come out in the rain. They're going to march rain or shine right over here in the staging area. Look at these beautiful, that's sort of a Chinese orange, I guess. But you know, this year's slogan is orange and green with peace in between, so this is very appropriate. This is the Phoenix Firebirds Marching Band. They're ready to go. You guys going to make it rain or shine, are you?
All the time.
Yeah, you're going to be there then, huh? Were you going to wear any kind of special cape or anything to keep the rain off you if it does rain a little bit harder?
Well, hopefully it won't rain so much and ruin the parade.
Okay, good luck, fellas.
Thank you.
Well, that's where it all begins, down at Clinton Square, the staging area for this 8th annual St. Patrick's Parade. And a lot of what you just saw is going to be coming our way, coming your way very, very soon, Rick.
Yeah, you better believe it. There's a lot more. 300 floats, I think we mentioned before that. But the 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade of Central New York on Central New York 9, brought to you in part by Burger King, the home of the new BK Broiler. To get a chicken sandwich this good, sometimes you've got to break the rules. Adirondack Colonial Furniture, the largest S-Vent dealer in Central New York. Payless Shoe Source for the great selection of sale-priced family athletic shoes. Who'd have guessed? Payless.
Nice to know there are special moments and special places that are still personally yours.
When you come in and I do your tax return, you have me behind you and you have H&R Block behind you, the tax people.
America's tax team stands behind its work.
It's satisfaction guaranteed.
We back them up 100%. Income taxes are all we do. We're here whenever you need us.
The Block Guarantee does give people peace of mind.
Every year, more people come to H&R Block to get their tax returns done right.
We're America's tax team. Put us to work for you.
Hi, folks. Ron Bouquet from Team Carbone. I've challenged my managers, Bob and Sam, to reduce prices and sell more cars.
At Carbone Nissan, I'll deliver this 1990 Access for $11,995, the lowest priced MVP around. How do you like that, Sam?
Well, Bob, the hottest car got hotter at Carbone Pontiac. 1990 Pontiac Grand Am delivered $98.79. Bob. While they're going at it, you come in at Team Carbone and you decide.
Welcome back to the 8th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade in Central New York on Central New York 9. What you're looking at right now is St. Patrick himself.
And that's Kevin Walsh, as a matter of fact. I guess he's been St. Patrick in all of these parades, Dan.
Yeah, he's a good one, too. You wouldn't know by looking at him that he isn't a genuine object come down to visit us annually from heaven. He just didn't bring the sunshine this year, but who knows? We've got a whole afternoon of parade activity, Rick. He may yet bring it along.
We've seen a lot of these parades, and 6 of the 8, of course, have been televised on WIXT9, and we've always seen some sunshine of some sort in the parades.
Oh, I'm confident before it's over with and before thousands more join us here downtown, thousands already have, that we'll see that sunshine break through and this light drizzle will cease. Division 1 is stepping off right down the parade route, South Salina Street. Live pictures, and we're awful happy you're with us this afternoon.
The parade is not far behind this horse-drawn wagon either. We will see it all over the next 3 hours. Of course, the Grand Marshals, we have Gene Doherty and Peter Coleman, our Grand Marshals this year. An excellent choice, I might add.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they all have been, obviously, but these people and these folks have been in it from the inception, the beginning of it. Of course, Peter Coleman, the pub keeper, and Gene Doherty, play lady from the Magic Toy Shop. And if you grew up in Central New York, I think we can all remember the Magic Toy Shop, that's for sure.
Grew up with it, Rick. I'll have to tell you my age. You grew up with it in the 60s. The Syracuse Police Department's Mounted Unit. Members of the department's Mounted Patrol headquartered out at the New York State Fairgrounds. And they're followed close behind down South Salina Street by the Syracuse Kilty Bagpipe Band. World War II military field dress uniform for them.
Did you ever want to play the bagpipes? I have no idea how they do that.
It's amazing. And it's impressive. Now this year, by the way, you saw the mounted patrol of the Syracuse Police Department just a moment ago. This year, the police department has dedicated their march at this parade to Deputy Chief Herman Edge, who is very ill, but is watching the parade, we're told, on television this very afternoon. Chief Edge, all the best to you and to your family. And as we reported last night on 9 News at 5:30, of course, the Syracuse Police Department's Goodwill Open, the golf tournament, to benefit Camp Goodwill, the Easter Seals camp in Chittenango. It'll be played in mid-May. It has been renamed the Herman Edge. And there's Chief Edge there. The 1990 Herman Edge Syracuse Police Goodwill Open. And all of the finest, the men in blue, the men and women in blue, under the direction of Chief Lee Hunt, marching today for Chief Edge. All of our best to he and his family. There's the police department in dress blue. They look so sharp when they, you know, you rarely see cops with the white gloves, right. And we see them in patrol cars and doing their best, and they do an excellent job to keep us safe and sound in the city of Syracuse. They got the carnations on too, Rick.
Now we have the Syracuse Fire Department, Chief Donald Moriarty, and they've always been behind the Syracuse Police Department in all the parades, I might add, but they work hand in hand throughout the year here in Syracuse. And again, standing tall in their uniforms with the green carnations, and even their firefighting gear.
And their turnout gear. And you never realize how good a job they do. And it's a day not only for them to show their stuff and to walk proudly, but for us to recognize them, if only briefly, at the head of a parade. And it's where they belong, our public safety forces, leading the way.
There's the Explorer Post, Syracuse Fire Explorer Post 280. And matches the Fire Safety Clown and the mini 12 1/4 Syracuse Fire Explorer Post 280 Color Guard and Marchers. They have a 1948. That engine you saw briefly there was a 48 Ford Orin fire engine. It was restored by the Syracuse Post 280 members.
And of course, it starts with the kids in the Explorers Post, Rick. They learn the ropes of firefighting, and they come up through the ranks. Hopefully some of those will join the paid force one day. Another pipe band, these being the Syracuse Scottish Pipes. There's nothing like bagpipe music on a St. Patrick's Day parade. We're going to see a lot of marching bands later, but this is what it's all about. Look at this.
This is definitely St. Patrick's Day. Sets you right in the mood, you know. You kind of
That's like Mike Major Avery Head, I'll bet, leading the way. Drum Major Jim Engel, Drum Sergeant Bill McNeil, they lead this group.
The pipe band, by the way, competes in the Northeast of Canada.
In the 1989 season, it won 2 first prizes and 1 second prize. So they are excellent. Directly following them, of course, the Onondaga County Sheriff's Department. Since 1794, the Onondaga County Sheriff's Department has been serving the people of Syracuse and Onondaga County. 500 deputies of Sheriff's Department keep the streets of the county safe and keep criminals behind bars at the Public Safety Building Jail. And I think we heard the helicopter go over, too, as a matter of fact.
Saw Sheriff John Dillon last night at the Gaelic Gala. He had his, not his dress outfit on last night, but his orange and green with peace in between sweatshirt.
He's not too Irish, is he? Huh?
Last year's Grand Marshal, speaking of not being too
right.
Irish, how soon we tend to forget. 1 year ago, John Dillon, the man who leads the Sheriff's Department and has done so outstanding fashion for many years, last year's Grand Marshal. And a little trailing siren never hurts to underline.
Following the Sheriff's Department is their K9 unit. I admire this unit greatly. These dogs, German Shepherds in particular, are useful in searching for not only lost persons, but also in the drug control, not only here, but across the nation. There is McGruff. Rough, yeah. The helicopter was Air 1. You might have heard that fly over the parade, and we'll be doing so today. That, by the way, gets up to speeds 130 miles an hour and gets to those scenes of the crimes and rescues and so forth rather quickly, too. There's one of the old sheriff's cars.
Vintage crime fighting on 4 wheels. And the newer models that you'll see out on patrol throughout the county up to this very day. You know, it's a steady drizzle, Rick, and nothing worse. So I imagine thousands continue, and we'd encourage you to do that. If you're home catching a little bit on TV and you think, hey, that doesn't look so bad, it isn't so bad.
No,
Come
not
on
really.
down.
I think what makes it more comfortable is the fact that we have a temperature, I would guess now, in the 50s at the present time. And in years gone by, I know last year was very cold, and when it gets windy and chilly, it makes it very upsetting to watch.
We mentioned marching bands a moment ago, that we'd be seeing a few of them, and here is the first of the 1990 St. Patrick's Parade. They come from Phoenix, New York, the Phoenix Firebird Marching Band.
There's 115 members there, and they were reorganized in 1980. And the uniforms that they're dressed in are from the Coldstream Guards of England. Let's give a listen. Show you right now a comparison of the first days of the parade. That was way back in 1983, and in 83 there were 3 bands, and now we have 60 from around the Northeast and Canada.
And corporate sponsors generally tend to pay the bill to get these bands here, and so much appreciation from them. They come as far away as Detroit, Michigan, and even Western Massachusetts, the community of Lee. This parade has just grown by leaps and bounds, Rick.
It sure has. I don't know how Nancy and the rest of the organizers can control this. And I tell you something, Nancy will probably go on maybe a vacation, about a week. She will. Comes back and she works on next year's parade. We say this every year, but God bless Nancy Duffy and her entire working entourage there for the parade, and that'll be 1991 for the next parade.
The committee
What you're looking now is DARE. That's the unit, Syracuse Police Department, Project DARE. And, of course, that's the Drug Abuse Resistance Education, 17-week drug education program, which sends the trained police officers into the classroom. And I'm sure many of the kids, your kids have probably told you about it. They come and do a super job in the fight against drugs.
Yeah, you've seen some stories on 9 News about DARE, and it's tremendous effectiveness to stop that terrible problem before it ever starts. Here's a special float this year. You see it on your screen now in memory of Michael Zunick. Michael and his wife were killed in a terrible plane crash last year. Mike used to be a key executive with Oscar Mayer locally, and a former SU football star too, as many of you may remember from years ago. A tremendous loss to our community. The corporation of Oscar Mayer realizes it was a tremendous loss to them. And the Wienermobile, that it's fun to look at. It'll always be fun. That's the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile you see coming at you right now. This year, the company has put that in the parade in memory of Mike Zunick and his wife. So a little more than just a trivial float this year. It's got some real meaning for a real contributor to our community who was taken tragically from us in the past year.
Some statistics you might want to know about the Wienermobile. It's 23 feet long, it's 8 feet wide, it's 10 feet high, weighs 5,800 pounds. That is one big wiener. And it's somewhere between a speeding bullet and a ketchup pouring from the bottle. That's the top speed of the Wienermobile.
And you know what I didn't mention that we ought to, it's not just Oscar Mayer, but Mike Zunick was very active in the DARE program, whose float we saw just before this, the drug campaign. So Mike Zunick, a real contributor to our community, a fellow who made a difference, and that's what we try to highlight for you on 9 News and on Central New York 9, people who make a difference, and Mike Zunick certainly among them. His parents are in the process right now of being contacted, and what the heck, Mike Zunick deserves every bit of applause we can give him, and our prayers are still with his family on this St. Patrick's Day, 1990. Coach Mack always thought very highly of Mike Zunick, one of the real leaders on that team when he played up on the hill. And his legacy lives on, not only on St. Patrick's Day, but all the time. Our best to the Zunick family.
Well, there's a banner from Coleman's, Tipperary Hill, Cashel House.
Of course, Pete Coleman, one of the 2 grand marshals of this year's parade, along with Gene Doherty.
We expect they're not too far behind these folks either. The parade is a long one, we got to tell you. When we get into some more statistics about the floats, and you saw some of the bands, 3 bands in 1983, 60 bands now. Wait till you see the floats and the rest of it.
Hey, there's a nice wide shot. Look at the crowd. I tell you, you think the St. Patrick's spirit is all dampened in this community with a little rain?
Not at all. And that sky bridge, the 2 sky bridges, will Fred Flintstone make it under those easily? Well, that's what we've got to see, because all the rest of them have. Popeye and all the rest that we've had here, too. It'll be a lot of fun. One thing, it'll be easy control for Fred Flintstone. Try saying that 3 times fast, and you'll get in trouble, just like I do all the time. But there is really literally no wind factor here today, so it should be very easily handled.
It's warm.
Some of the folks enjoying the parade today, and see, they don't look wet at all.
No. A lot of umbrellas. I tell you, a salesman could have made a few bucks on quick umbrella sales down here today.
Green ones. I believe this is a tank of fresh green beer, if I'm not mistaken.
It's what they couldn't fit underground at Coleman's for this week. The leftover, the spillover. Who knows where it'll go?
Boy, that really made the news, didn't it?
Yeah, so surprised that this year Pete Coleman went public one day in the newspaper that it's a hoax, it's a fake. We don't have green beer, we don't pump it underground.
Didn't that surprise you, though?
It really did. Yeah, but it didn't surprise me at all the next day when he took it back on TV and said, I just wanted to give the newspaper a story. It's the truth.
I think Peter Coleman in his old right is a leprechaun.
Yeah, and a legend in his own time. Green beer indeed.
And I think you can remember being young enough to be lined up at Coleman's to get in there at 6 o'clock in the morning on St. Patrick's Day.
An award-winning marching band here. We're being treated to 2 marching bands of repute, one after the other. The Cicero, North Syracuse, High School North Stars.
200 members in this band. Let's give it a listen.
You've seen them in bowl games, or at least you've heard of them going to bowl games. Well, there they are. Knights of Columbus. Wouldn't be a parade without them.
There's Pat Bright.
Hey.
How about it, huh?
This is a special leprechaun here, right from Ireland, right from the old sod, aren't you?
Nancy Duffy herself's leprechaun, you know.
A personal leprechaun
Yes.
for Nancy?
Yes, absolutely.
You go by another name sometimes. What is that? Oh. Okay. We better keep up with things here.
I think I know his other name. Bill Button, but that's just a guess.
Just a guess. Looks like him anyway. Could pass as him. I think we're seeing the marshals now of the parade coming in.
Hey, the committee. I think I caught a glimpse of Nancy there. Nancy Duffy. We're so proud of her and her whole committee. Of course, it's grown so big. The committee is so large. There's Nancy. Get under that umbrella. You want to stay well, even though you're going to take a little vacation. The 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade on Central New York 9, brought to you in part by PNC, the unbeatable price champion. Chappell's, the store that's personally yours, and by your local Chrysler, Jeep, and Eagle dealers.
There's never been a better time to save on Eagle. Get a guaranteed rebate on Eagle Premier and guaranteed cash back on the sporty new Eagle Talon. There's never been a better time to save on Jeep. Get a guaranteed rebate on Jeep Cherokee and first time ever cash back on the legendary Jeep Wrangler.
The legendary Jeep Wrangler.
Thank you.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer, where you can expect the best.
In an age of artificial turf and superdomes, there's still a place where the game is pure and rugged, and the beer has to be smooth and refreshing. Introducing Guinness Gold. The golden lager beer that's as uncompromising as the people who drink it. Guinness Gold. Now there's a Guinness for everyone.
The winds of change are blowing with a chicken sandwich made a whole new way. It's flame broiled to perfection, which means it can only come from one place. Introducing the BK Broiler Flame Broiled Chicken Sandwich. To make a great tasting chicken sandwich, sometimes you've got to break the rules. And now, after 4 p.m., buy one BK Broiler and get a second for just 99 cents.
Ham radio operator.
And welcome back to the 8th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade in Syracuse, New York. I'm Rick Gary, Dan Cummings with me, and now Nancy Duffy. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. You know, this is a lovely day. You wouldn't even know that there's a little mist in the air.
That's the way Ireland is, though, isn't it? I mean, a little misty.
It's a soft day. That's
soft
what we call it.
Okay. You look spectacular. Had your green coat on. You've got orange shoes on. Your Irish knit sweater. I mean, you're all set. You really are. Once again, another spectacular job done with the parade. It's going along smoothly.
You know, look at that. That is the Phoenix, I believe. Phoenix High School band?
No, I think we've passed the Phoenix.
Do we Phoenix?
Oh, we saw Phoenix in your absence, Nancy. They were outstanding, as well as Cicero North Syracuse. The North Stars always put on it.
I think. Oh, I'm
But we're not far away from Phoenix.
That's
the
right.
Mexico Matador.
Short drive.
And they're making a big comeback, as you know, Dan and Rick.
Mexico
High School band is tooling up and is really coming back. First time in the parade.
Well, let's listen to these kids. I think they've got some notes to play for us here.
We're, of course, still in Division One. I don't know if you noticed, Division One is a little longer this year.
No.
Mexico Matadors. They'll leave this parade and get ready for a trip to Williamsburg, historic Williamsburg, Virginia. Competition this spring for Fiesta Val, April 19th through the 22nd. And we wish them the best of luck. The Mexico Matadors in the 1990 St. Pat's Parade.
And there's Mickey Gilley.
Is that Mickey?
That's
yeah,
Mickey.
that's right. He's riding in the WNDR car.
One with Jim O'Brien. I'll bet Obie's supposed to be in that car with him.
Mickey Gilley, of course, owns that famous nightclub, Gilley's. It was like 40,000 square feet and a number of pool tables, one of the biggest clubs in all of America. And, of course, Mickey is the cousin to Jerry Lee Lewis. I believe that's the way it goes.
And no relation at all to Dr. Tom Dooley.
Really? I thought the names matched, you know?
Gilley and Dooley.
Gilley, Dooley, yeah.
The Ancient Order of Hibernians, Division 1 from Camillus. It's Division 1 because it's the oldest Hibernian group. Hibernians being the only Irish ethnic organization in Onondaga County. Had its origins in Ireland.
How'd the crowd look on the way down, Nancy?
Oh, it looked as heavy as it ever has been. And the smiles were, I would say, 400 miles wide.
Okay.
Absolutely. When I drove down at mid-morning to begin preparations, parking lots were already filling up.
Yeah, the rain hasn't deterred it. In fact, looking down, there's something spectacular about seeing all the colorful umbrellas.
Yes, Rick and I said that as we stood high atop our platform there, looking down our street. Count the umbrellas, and then you multiply about 3 or 4 people under each umbrella, and you've got a crowd estimate.
Now you can tell which pipe band this is by what they're playing, right?
You can, Nancy.
It's the third pipe band so far, and we're still only in Division 1.
I believe there's, 12 pipe bands?
At least.
In all of this, yeah.
At least. There's nothing louder than a pipe band, and as beautiful, if you like pipe bands.
They inspire, I got to tell you that.
Yeah, last night at the gala at the galleries, when they came strolling through on the ground floor, everybody turned and almost snapped to attention.
I bet Bill Eadie did.
The Celtic historian and balladeer himself. And I don't think we've mentioned yet, but we ought to, that Bill Eadie, the studio crew chief at WYXT9, is the one who came up with this year's parade theme, the title, the slogan, if you will, Orange and the Green with peace in between. And we want to congratulate him for that because it's a heck of a thought.
He's always thinking, all the time.
Yeah.
He thinks on his feet. It's amazing.
And it's a fine concept to keep in mind, of course, with all the proceeds, as always, going to benefit Project Children to help those kids from war-torn Northern Ireland.
This year, I believe you're going to try to bring 125 children. Is that the number they're trying for this year?
Absolutely. And you may have noticed the Tom Dooley Choraleers, who have you seen them yet?
Yes, I think they passed. No, I don't think they have. They're on a bus, right? I think
we're probably about ready to see them. They have created a song, The Orange and the Green with Peace in It.
Oh, really?
Beautiful.
We'll have to take a listen to that as they come by. Well, it's only, I think it's only the second time that it's kind of a rare coincidence that the St. Patrick's Parade actually falls on St. Patrick's Day. So it always helps confuse people, Nancy, when we schedule this, and it's on the 10th, and St. Pat's Day is really on the 17th. This year, a perfect match. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
The Irishmen like it better when they can have 2 days to celebrate.
Have a whole month.
They really do.
Yeah, sure they do. I'm half Irish. I don't know.
And the longer apart the days are, the better.
There's a 93Q hit radio station. That's their boombox, I guess they call it.
That's right, and Laura Branigan should be not too far behind.
As a matter of fact, I think we're going to go to Laura Branigan right now. Mike Otis. Mike?
Hi, Rick. How you doing? We're up here on the 93Q boombox, and with me right now is Laura Branigan. Laura, Atlantic recording star, and came all the way in for Los Angeles. Did you come in from LA or New York?
I came from all over.
From all over. She's been all around town, and she's in here for the parade. What do you think so far?
It's great. I love it. It's as good as New York. You know, I'm used to the New York parades, and I've never been up here before.
Now, you got a new single out that we're hearing right now in the background called Moonlight on the Water, and that's from a new album that's coming out real soon.
Moonlight on the Water, yeah, it's just out. And thanks to 93Q, everybody in Syracuse has been hearing it. And the album will be out in 2 weeks. It's called Laura Branigan.
That's a pretty good name, I think.
Thanks.
And we appreciate, I know everybody here at the parade appreciates you coming out for this. It's a good Irish name, Laura Branigan. And the folks at 93Q, we'd like to thank them for bringing you in also. And thanks for coming.
Thank you, Mike. I'm having a great time.
Okay, great. Rick, Dan, back to you.
All right. Isn't she a pretty Irish lady? I've never seen her up that close. Never got a chance to see a concert or look at her record jacket. Laura Branigan. I just remember Gloria, you know, the pounding beat of Gloria.
From Los Angeles, courtesy of Atlantic Records. As a matter of fact, she's going to Utica from here for a personal appearance today. That's Laura Branigan.
That's right. I'm sure the Syracuse Police Department have come to the fore again to get her there on time. You know, earlier we had a problem with transporting the VIPs from the church to the beginning of the parade, and the Syracuse Police stepped in again and had a police bus waiting for us. So the first crisis was solved.
The Men in Blue, Most Holy Rosary. Do I see 75th? Are they celebrating an anniversary this year as well? Holy mackerel.
That's right.
Oh, Holy Rosary. Very good.
Most Holy Rosary, of course, has Father John, our parade chaplain, Father John Ahern, who once was the national chaplain for the Ancient Order of Hibernians. Big Irishman. Well, not that tall.
There's always a group that places themselves behind us on that stage over there. They're the same group every year.
The Gulf Line Road Crew.
That's who they are. Yeah.
Interviewed them several times before. They come early and they stay late.
They stay late. They're there every year.
They're the PNC horses.
Ah, the 6-horse. Tell me if I'm wrong, Rick. Percherons?
Percherons.
All right.
You got it. Beautiful horses.
And you can hear, are the horses singing?
Yes, the horses are singing. PNC has trained them to sing for the Bay Veterans.
Joe McCullough and Doug Corey doing the driving.
Oh, there's where Corlear is coming from. Tom Dooley Corlear. And they are, of course, directed by Michael Pinkashevitz, who started the Tom Dooley's many, many years ago.
The 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade on Central New York 9, brought to you by, in part, O'Duncan O'Bright. Shop today until 9 and tomorrow 9 until 6 during their Irish Bargain Party sale. The Sam Dell Group, try us and find out how good we really are. And Falso Heating, we're not comfortable until you are.
All right.
Come on, join the parade.
It's the Sam Dell March Motorcade of Values.
All 9 Sam Dell locations are in formation with great March savings.
The customer's always right.
That's the Sam Dell policy.
And we'll prove it with this March Motorcade.
Toyota leads everyone's parade, and Sam Dell Toyota sets the pace with this 90 Corolla at just $10,207.
Completing the Auburn Auto Mall, Sam Dell Pontiac Buick, where you'll find this 1990 Pontiac Grand Am at $93.54.
You can try Dell first.
Try Dell last.
Just try the Sam Dell Group.
It's misty here in Ireland, but it's always sunny at O'Duncan O'Bright's Irish Bargain Party.
Come join the fun at the biggest furniture sale of 1990. Stroll through room after room of beautiful furniture, all at the guaranteed lowest prices of the year for this Irish event. Irish music, Irish refreshments, Irish gifts with every purchase.
Don't miss the fun of shopping at O'Duncan O'Bright's Irish Bargain Party.
It's O'Duncan O'Bright. O'Duncan O'Bright. O'Duncan O'Bright.
Like any good coach, honey, a mom knows the score. Say your center, your guard, and your power forward all need athletic shoes, and you don't have the payroll of the pros. Well, it's no sweat. Payless has athletic shoes on sale in all the popular styles and for about 1/3 of the popular prices.
Mom, can I have these too?
Honey, it's not in your contract.
Save on athletic shoes for the whole family. Sale price now from $9.99 to $22.99. For value with style, who'd have guessed? Payless.
All right, what you're looking now is Syracuse at Hotel. The hotel's at Syracuse Square. I know it's such a long name, but a number of people get those ringside seats up there in the ballroom and look down at the parade. A nice dry place to be today.
The 8th annual St. Patrick's Parade in Syracuse, being brought to you live and in living color on Central New York 9, WIXT, Syracuse. Dan Cummings along with Rick Gary and Nancy Duffy. Awfully glad you're with us, and awfully glad that little youngster's with us as well. And him.
I saw somebody with green hair. Yeah, I was wondering how long it was going to be before I saw a person with green hair, and I did see one. Is Dome Eddie going to have green hair when he comes down?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
A significant year. You mentioned Dome Eddie. He and the Dome Ranger retiring,
yes.
I guess, at the end of this season, which hopefully will continue all the way to Denver.
Yeah. I would have hoped that Dome would have handed his hair on and the Dome Ranger his mask, but not so.
Oh, it's a long, long way either to or from Tipperary, I think.
And that's the Liverpool Legionnaires American Legion Band.
This is my favorite band. It's not one of the largest. This is one of the smallest bands in the parade, but it's one of the most musical, and they play those inspiring American tunes, those old march tunes, the Sousa marches. This is the Legion from Liverpool. Farewell, Tipperary, farewell, Leicester Square. It's a long, long way to Tipperary, but my heart's right there. Forward, hard, long way. This is the Legion Band, the American Legion Band from Liverpool, New York. One of the smaller bands, but one of the very best. Okay, Rick, Dan?
You know, I tell you, you give Mike a tune, he'll sing. He knows all the words to everything. He does a great job.
There he goes.
Mike Bright.
He'll be back. Thank you, Mike.
He'll be marching and singing with a number of the bands today.
Nancy, you may have found a new feature for the parade.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. And this, of course, is the Liverpool Fire Department. I think we have maybe a member of our crew marching.
Mary Gelling Merritt and her husband, Don. I saw Don last night at the Gaelic Gala. Mary, of course, now the mother of a beautiful young baby boy. Marshall. And there's her fire department. Well, it's not her fire department. I think Chief Pete Vasallo might take some issue with that, but sometimes we like to think of it as Mary's department. Certainly the volunteers deserve an awful lot of credit. We talked about the paid public safety forces at the beginning of this parade with Syracuse Police. Well, here's the volunteer units. At least one of them, some of their vintage firefighting gear.
And you know, the kids love fire trucks.
Oh, yeah.
Their eyes get so big
I
when
believe
you
it.
see those
Yeah.
fire trucks.
I did as a kid, too, and there's something about fire trucks and tractors and, you know, when you're a kid, that's very attractive.
I think that goes along with news people anyway, you know. I think
Yeah.
kind of like
And we end up chasing them sometimes.
Yeah. At a safe distance.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is the WE Division. You know, we started the WE Division a few years ago to pay attention to the Leprechauns. That was after the parade that lasted 5.5 hours.
The Sherburne Earlville Marching Band will be coming our way next.
This is Gary Sullivan. He does a wonderful job with the pageant of bands every summer in Sherburne.
Took a first place at both the Delaware and Shenango County Fairs, a fourth place at the New York State Fair, and a third place at the Binghamton Columbus Day Parade. They're no strangers to parades and competition. They host their own annual Sherburne pageant of bands the first Saturday of every June. Awful glad they could join us for the 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade, the Sherburne Earlville High School Band.
A lot of steps to be in a marching band. Wonder how many miles they march a year.
You just got a glimpse of Sean O'Grady, I don't know, running by the former lightweight champion of the world who was part of the boxing exhibition last night. It was at Mass this morning. And there he is. You can see him.
Yeah, Sean O'Grady.
Looks like he's walking along with the band.
For those of you who don't know who Sean O'Grady is or was, he has been the boxing analyst for USA's Thursday Night Fights for the past 2 years. And along with the blow-by-blow announcer Al Albert, he travels to boxing's most famous venues during a 30-week series to broadcast both club nights and world championship bouts. So we're going to talk to him right now with Mike Otis. Mike?
Thank you. We're down here on the street with former WBA lightweight champion Sean O'Grady. Sean, welcome to Syracuse.
Thanks very much. This is more like Dublin than it is like Syracuse.
Yes.
My gosh, is the excitement here? How many people would you expect?
We have I don't have any idea yet, but we're going to get a count.
Syracuse goes all out for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it's a big thing here, and we appreciate you coming down for this.
Any Irishman here has to feel at home on St. Patrick's Day.
Well, that's good to hear. Now, Sean, are you still you're with the USA?
With USA's Thursday night fights,
right.
We do a weekly show on USA, and guess what night it comes on?
Wouldn't be Thursday night by any chance, would it?
You got it.
That worked out pretty good. That's every Thursday night. I understand you're also getting into some comedy stuff.
Well, I go to a comedy class, but all of the acting and stuff that I take, the comedy class, is basically for my USA stuff. We're trying to be more funny on our USA broadcast.
Well, comedy's a little different than being in the ring.
I don't know, with some of the fighters they have out today, it's kind of comedic.
All right, well, Sean, thanks for coming down to the parade today. We appreciate it.
Great to see you out here, Mike, and great to see all the people out from Syracuse. This is fantastic.
All right, back to you guys.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Sean O'Grady, former WBA lightweight champion, for joining us at the 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade on Central New York 9. Brought to you in part by Jack of Hearts, your floor covering store. Duncan O'Bright, reminding you that the Irish Bargain Party sale ends tomorrow. And by Chappell, serving Central New York with fashion for the family and home.
The seasons are beautiful. But at Falso Heating, we think they're best left outdoors. When you come home, you deserve to be comfortable. And you can be, because Falso installs the latest high-efficiency furnaces from Carrier. And Falso provides fast, excellent service, too. You'll keep warm because we keep our word. Call Falso today. Keeping our word, keeping you comfortable. Since 1882.
Our apples for the student's report card.
Thank you to Lakeland Elementary School, your first computer. Congratulations.
Here's your new Macintosh computer.
We would like to present you with the two brand new Apple computers.
It's nice to know there are special moments and special places that are still personally yours.
There's a crazy house like living that house right there.
Welcome back, everybody. Rick Gary, I'm Dan Cummings. Nancy Duffy is with us, and we welcome you to the 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade, the 8th annual, our 6th year here on WYXT Central New York 9. Awful glad you are with us and
Actually,
enjoying the parade.
I think I've been in that house in the past week.
Spinning and spinning.
Santa Claus is Irish. I don't know if you knew that, but he is.
Sure. He's part of the Plank Road. I don't see the Plank Road.
Well, I believe that was the house on the Plank Road, wasn't it?
Oh, maybe that was it.
I think that was what that was supposed to be. Now, of course, you could all see on the tie here, this is the latest in fashion for 1990. Ties are going wider and longer. And probably they'll all be green, too.
A little bit of Groucho Marx, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Here's our Project Children representation here in the parade, which this parade is all about.
And the theme speaks to what Project Children is all about. They bring Irish children from Northern Ireland, from Belfast and Derry every summer, and the Protestant kids stay, and the Catholic kids. Does that face look familiar, that St. Patrick?
Well, if so, it's the second St. Patrick we've seen today. Or maybe he's got a different mitre on today. Have I said that right? A mitre?
That's St. Patrick. We won't reveal his true identity, but he has a lot to do with county government. I'll say that much.
Oh.
Now,
wait a minute.
I have to think for a moment.
That isn't, is it?
Well, he's an Irishman in county government, and he spends a lot of time around a park.
It wouldn't be St. Patrick Gary McLaughlin, would it?
Well, I'm not going to say, but you're awfully close.
Well, he's a saint of a man himself. Speaking of parks and rec, we saw one elephant earlier, and we've got some baby elephants on the way, of course, here in Onondaga County, Burnett Park Zoo. The Wee division of the 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade.
You have to be under 6 to be in the Wee division, or at least have that same spirit.
Well, that could be most of us in the newsroom at any given moment, you know.
This is the Caledonia Pipes and Drum Corps of Buffalo. I don't want to say, but Buffalo, yes, does have a St. Patrick's Day parade, and yes, we have 3 bands from Buffalo in the Syracuse St. Patrick's.
When is their parade?
Today.
Same day, and they came here instead?
That's right.
I think it's worth a listen for these guys that come from Buffalo in our parade. Let's listen.
Like they painted not only a green stripe but an orange stripe, doesn't it?
Yes, and a peace stripe in between.
There we go. That's what that is. Yeah. Nancy, how do we rank with our parade in the United States?
Well, we've always claimed to be the world's largest per capita. And at one point we were the longest. That was in 1986, but we don't ever want to do that ever again.
That was the 5.5 hours, yeah.
Yes. So we were also the densest, you know. Our parade is densest, and we were the longest and oldest, and with floats and elephant, because most parades, and the granddaddy of parades in New York City, of course, does not have floats.
Oh, they don't?
Or animals, except a few horses.
So it's just all bands and marchers?
Bands and marchers, yes.
Okay.
A lot easier to do that one.
Yeah, I guess it is.
We've got them whipped.
Joy Germ Joan, you just saw their banner, spreading the joy germs throughout Central New York, and she has her time in July when they have the Joy Germ Parade.
Is that real fire she's throwing in the air?
I believe so, yeah.
You're not kidding.
Whoops.
Was throwing in the air.
I usually do my juggling with chainsaws, but that's a lot easier with me.
I'm glad we have lots of fire trucks around.
Yes. And it's a rainy day, too, so...
Looks like the crowd is getting bigger.
Yeah, you know it over there. Join us once more.
Now that's not easy.
No, not at all. It's a great tension reliever, though. You ever try juggling? I'm serious.
No.
For those moments, Dan, or those days that you're so stressed out, try juggling in your office. You'll feel a lot better, really.
Yeah, and then they'll come and take me away for sure.
Yeah.
This is the Downsville Eagle Marching Band, first time in the parade this year. And they're from Downsville. You, of course, know where Downsville is.
Absolutely. And if I don't, you'll probably tell me, right?
Well, I just want you to tell me. It is.
Well, I'll tell you where they compete besides give us some joy here on a St. Patty's Day parade. They'll be in the State Fair Band competition every year, the Sherburne Pageant of Bands, the City of Binghamton Columbus Day Parade, and a lot of other parade competitions throughout Central New York.
The question is, can you go uptown in Downsville?
We've got a lot of new high school bands in the parade this year. Madison County, Shenango County.
This one specializing in percussion instruments. Oh, there he is. Fred Flintstone, yabba dabba doo. There are the statistics on old Fred. 50 feet tall, 6,000 cubic feet of helium. Now, you could do a lot of laughing with that, I'll tell you.
But it won't blow up.
No,
in case
it will
anybody's
not.
concerned, that is non-combustible helium. 300 pounds worth. And it takes 30 balloon handlers to handle them, and they all work for the Syracuse newspapers. Let's get a little closer to Bedrock and Fred Flintstone. Mike Otis, take it away.
That's okay. It's Mike Price down here, and I'm underneath Freddie himself now. Rabba-dabba-doo there, Fred. Hello there, guys. How's it going here today? Good. Everything's all right? Has he got all his air and everything he needs? He's okay. Hey, wait. Hey, Fred, don't push like that. Fred really wants to keep moving in this parade here. Fred Flintstone, that is. You know, in past years, some of these people have sprung leaks, but Fred is doing quite well this year. He looks like he's fully inflated. The big trick here is with all these people that handle the lines is to duck him under the wires and the telegraph poles and so on. And he seems to be doing that very well and holding up quite well as he's nearing the last leg of the parade here. I'm sorry, Fred. I don't want to hold you up there. Rabba-dabba-doo. How are things in Bedrock there, Freddie? We're going to stay with you if we can, Fred, to see you go under these lights up here, all right? Let's see if we can't move ahead a little bit here. I don't want to get tangled up in the lines here. You know, I might be riding up there in Freddie's arms if I'm not careful. Let me back up a little bit here. Okay, I want to see him duck down here under these lines up here, under the traffic signal. Boy, does he look good up there today. Hiya, Fred. How you doing? How's Barney? Pebbles, the whole family? All right, okay, ready? Here he comes down now. Hey, down, Fred. Okay, we'll get him under. Okay, bring him this way here, gang. Now, this is pretty tricky here. He's got along. Fred here. He's sort of dragging along here. Okay. I think he's got a ways to go here. You know, there's other things on the parade. So let's get back to Rick and Dan. There's other things to see back there. Thanks, Fred. Rabba-dabba-doo.
Oh, Wilma! Got to tell you, the 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade on Central New York 9, brought to you in part by Balso Heating. We're not comfortable until you are. P&C, Price Champion people care about you. And Adirondack Colonial Furniture, the largest S-Bet dealer in Central New York. We'll be right back.
Like any good coach, honey, a mom knows the score. Say your center, your guard, and your power forward all need athletic shoes, and you don't have the payroll of the pros. Well, it's no sweat. Payless has athletic shoes on sale in all the popular styles and for about a third of popular prices.
Mom, can I have these too?
Honey, it's not in your contract.
Save on athletic shoes for the whole family. Sale price now from $9.99 to $22.99. For value with style, who'd have guessed? Pay less.
There's never been a better time to save on Eagle. Get a guaranteed rebate on Eagle Premier and guaranteed cash back on the sporty new Eagle Talon. There's never been a better time to save on Jeep. Get a guaranteed rebate on Jeep Cherokee and first time ever cash back on the legendary Jeep Wrangler. The legendary Jeep Wrangler. Thank you.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer where you can expect the best.
At Burger King, that flame-broiled taste you've always loved is about to take a new turn to chicken. Introducing the BK Broiler. For a chicken sandwich with that flame-broiled taste, sometimes you've got to break the rules. And now, Burger King is turning hours into seconds. Because after 4 p.m., when you buy one BK Broiler flame-broiled chicken sandwich, you get a second for just 99 cents. For a great deal on a great-tasting chicken sandwich, sometimes you've got to break the rules.
And welcome back to the 8th Annual St. Patrick's Day Parade in downtown Syracuse. I'm Rick Gary, along with Dan Cummings and Nancy Duffy. You know, I have refrained from calling you Danny Boy today. I think we agreed on that yesterday that I wouldn't do that.
And thank you for refraining.
You're welcome, and we didn't break in any kind of Irish brogue yet.
Not yet, but no. We got a couple hours left.
We still have some time.
But now before we listen to the Savannah Cellar Savers Marching Brass Band. Now, over the last 10 years, these guys have been the 6-time champions of the New York State Music Championship Contest. It's the 20th anniversary of the Savannah Cellar Savers.
Stellar Sabers, of course, you know, refer to their volunteer work as firemen.
And this year, we're told that one of their highlights is they've donated both time and money for what's called the Louie Louie Parade in Rochester, and that's all to benefit the local leukemia society there.
And that was the song they were playing, too.
Yes.
Do you know who did that song?
The Kingsmen.
That's right.
But they did a cover version of it. You ought to be able to tell me who did the original, because I'm not going to remember.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you've got me on that. That would really
I don't know.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've been on radio.
The Murphy School of Irish Dancing, they've been doing that all the way down the street.
Have you ever done that, Nancy? Have you ever danced like that?
Well, you know,
I mean, I know you're light on your feet.
I don't do it 1/90th as well as these little kids.
I'll tell you what, if we did that every day, we wouldn't worry about our weight and what we eat. Very energetic, very caloric burning type dance.
Manoa Madcaps on the Cystic Fibrosis Perkmobile.
The rain has let up just a little bit down here, too.
Yeah, I don't think it's raining at all. I don't
think it is either. It's rained enough to grow grass on the street, I believe, today.
That's Kool-Aid Man, obviously.
At a glance, it's Kool-Aid Man.
Kool-Aid tastes great.
Wish I had some.
Can't wait.
There we go.
Hey, are we a team here or what?
Did you see Mr. Peanut? Mr. Peanut was supposed to be with Kool-Aid Man, but...
Well, that makes sense.
Well, he finally came out of his shell. Whoa!
Here comes the Super City. Let's hear it from a fight against multiple sclerosis.
National Multiple Sclerosis Society, the upstate New York chapter. The little leprechaun. Hello.
Okay.
Part of their campaign called the Walk. I think there's a special walk they do. 2 large feet. There's Mr. Peanut.
There we go. Yes.
Wouldn't be a party without Mr. Peanut.
Yeah, I'll tell you, wasn't last week National Peanut Butter Week?
Was it really?
I think it was, yes.
And I missed it?
Boy, are you a peanut butter?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I am too. I believe anybody asks me what a favorite sandwich is, I have to say peanut butter.
And jelly.
Yeah, and jelly, and honey, or even banana.
Well, Mr. Peanut is actually very Irish, you know.
And looking a little bit like Jimmy Carter.
John O'Malley is Mr. Peanut.
Oh, we hear another band coming up.
This should be the ambassadors of Montreal. Come all the way from Montreal, the only French-speaking Irish band we have.
French-speaking Irish band. I like that. Do Irishmen in that area speak French?
No.
No, okay. I thought there might have been a story here, but I guess not.
When the ambassadors call the newsroom, you know, in fact, I remember you told me one time, Dan, that an ambassador from Kuwait was on the phone.
Oh, yes. And this was them?
This was them.
The ambassadors of Valleyfield.
There's a horse. See, in Dublin, they're having a problem with ponies that are running around and horses that are running around the streets over there.
Really? Wild horses?
They've been wild, and a number of the people that really normally can't afford to take care of horses have taken up as pets and so forth. So the SPCA is having a problem with overpopulation of them, of horses running around streets, you know, causing traffic problems and so forth. This is Scenic Valley Riding Stables down in Lafayette, and their 4-H group down there. This is a shot from the horse trailer as we ride along in the parade. Makes you feel like you're right there, doesn't it, Dan?
You are in it.
Get a couple of gee and a couple of ha, make those horses move along, and there you go. Little Clydesdale. That's from the Bartlett Farm.
When we bring you a parade, we bring you a parade. You're in it.
We've got you covered from all angles, and I'll tell you something. We have a fantastic crew that not only works the parade, but works for us at Channel 9. And I'll tell you something. Our thanks goes out to these guys to get all these shots.
Oh, they've been rigging for 24 hours to set this up. I don't think a lot of them slept last night.
No, I don't think either. Of course, they don't normally sleep anyway. We keep them cracking all the time. But their work started very early this morning, running cables, and we're running a portable camera up and down the parade routes, and they're doing a heck of a job. Keep it up, guys.
Yeah,
Enjoy
you'll see their names at the conclusion, I'm sure, on some credits, and we'll try to mention a few as we go along. Bill Eadie, we've already mentioned, the Celtic balladeer and historian who came up with this year's slogan.
Bill Eadie is somewhat famous, you know.
Of course, we call him Bill the Bogman.
Yeah. There's the Wegmans cart. You saw a shot of that just briefly there. They have this gigantic cart, high-powered shopping cart.
The monster cart.
Yeah, the monster cart. That's what I was looking for that word. And thank you.
There's Nancy Whiskey. You got the Tom Dooley Coraliers in the background.
And is that a tanker full of Nancy Whiskey?
Absolutely.
You're kidding. That'll never do for the amount of Irishmen that are in central New York.
Another antique fire rocket. Fisher Bay Irregulars. Richard Sparrow and his gang.
Oh, yeah, this is the one that was the 1931 Aaron Spock's ladder truck, and it's currently being restored. And it's from Worcester, Mass. 1942. It's a 1942 Sanford, originally a 1942 Sanford, which, by the way, made in Syracuse, and being restored. As a matter of fact, they're getting set to paint this vehicle again. It'll be one of only 8. It's one of only 8 of this particular model in Central New York. There you see the monster cart again from Wakeness.
I just want to say thank you to Ada Baucus and the Baucus Pony Group and the Lynch Ponies who've come through, and all the horse groups, and especially to Ada for the candy that was just delivered.
This is Irish candy?
Well, it's green.
And white.
All right, Nancy. White chocolate, green chocolate. No, I like those scarves. That's nice. Shamrock.
I didn't wear all my scarves today. I just wore
I forgot to wear mine, but I do have my green sweater on, and Dan had his sweater.
70 degrees out there. It's sunny.
I know. The last years we had to have scarves, sweatshirts, Tams, the whole bit on.
And really, the rain has all but stopped now, at least in downtown Syracuse. It's hard to tell whether or not you're getting some sprinkles in the outlying areas, but drying up nicely at the 1990 Syracuse St. Pat's Parade. 1990. Oh, goodness.
Mike Price. Did I hear Mike Price was on that cart?
Take it away on the monster cart, Mike.
Thanks, Rick. I couldn't get in the cart. Well, if I got in the cart, you might think that I was in the hoose cow, and I know there's things that I've done where people think I ought to be locked up, but I thought I'd stay on the outside of the cart here. But it is something to ride the world's largest shopping cart. There are some people in here. They look like good eggs, however. And it's kind of a nice ride. It's very comfortable. I'm on the bottom. You know, they usually put the heavy things down on the bottom of the cart, so that's why I decided to stay right here. But isn't this a monster? Look at the size of this thing. Remember, if you take your groceries to the car and you unload them into the trunk of your car, bring this cart back to the front of the store, would you? That would be a nice thing to do. Rick, Dan?
Well, Michael, you know, I'll bet a lot of housewives and men and women wake up with nightmares of a cart that size and they got to go grocery shopping the next day. Well,
did you ever have one of those get away from you in the parking lot? Oh, boy.
I mean, that's a nightmare. Yeah. I got to fill it up, fill her up. Plastic or paper.
That's right.
And here comes the Rob Royce from Kingston. This is the senior pipe band parade. And that means that they've had more experience than any other pipe band. Pioneer Clowns have always led the parade. That's the Telephone Pioneers. They're volunteers from the New York Telephone Company. This is, I think, Canadian-American Friendship Week. And to celebrate, we have at least, a dozen Canadian bands.
The New York Coupon Directory. Is that shopping coupons?
Use some of them to fill up that big shopping cart.
I guess.
And there's Popeye's chicken.
Not to be confused with Popeye, who came down Salina Street last year.
Yeah, on his back, or on his nose, I think.
Yeah, that's right. That was...
The village of East Syracuse is new this year.
East Syracuse really settled by a lot of Irishmen. It's a railroad town back in the early days, and one of the thriving industries there. And
that's right. People think of just the west side as Irish, but the east side
Syracuse,
had a big,
very big
population. Mayor Peter Higgins right there.
That's called the East Syracuse Irish Waddle, I think is what he's trying to do there, back and forth.
Hoping, of course, there's a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow.
This is Lafayette now.
Lafayette, my home. Lafayette Concert Band. They're here every year. Doing a fabulous job.
And the Campfire Girls, I think, yes, the Campfire Kids.
80th birthday they'll celebrate today. Hey, happy birthday to the Campfire Kids. They are 80 today. They look real good for 80, don't they?
They sure do.
Co-ed National Youth Organization serving children grades K through 12. And the Children's Council of Central New York Campfire serves children all over this part of the state in club programs that meet every week. Camping as well as some short-term self-reliance programs. They really help these kids out. Happy birthday, 80th, to the Campfire boys and girls.
This is the OCC float coming along, Onondaga Student Services, and in the past have taken either one of the top three prizes in the float contest.
Now the judges are on the reviewing stand, right?
That's right. We built that stand yesterday.
Wow. Boy.
The first all-parade reviewing stand.
How many judges do they have, Nancy?
Well, there are a lot of judges. There Assemblyman Mel Zimmer is a judge, and Nick Pirro is a judge, Senator Tarky Lombardi. We needed some of the top political people around to really judge these floats for their originality, creativity, design, and theme. This is a nice one coming along here. It looks like the map of Ireland.
St. Mary's of the Lake, Skinny Atlas, if I'm not mistaken, their Catholic youth organization, CYO.
That's right, it is Skinny Atlas.
Beautiful little church in a gorgeous little village. You mentioned Judge Melvin Zimmer, and I saw him last night at the Gala Gala. He's looking better every day, really.
That's right, and he's been a supporter of the parade from the beginning and wouldn't miss this one. Good. Now, this is the Butler Academy. This is probably the third Irish step dancing group we've seen so far. Mary Margaret Sheehan's Butler Academy. It's becoming the thing to do if you're a young girl whether you're Irish or not.
The step dancing?
Step dancing. It's really good for teaching discipline, and it's fun because there's so many competitions.
Good show, girls.
70 students in the Butler Academy. Speaking of that Canadian connection, Nancy, Pat Butler, the dance teacher at Butler, comes down from Toronto, Ontario once a week to help get these kids into step. And I was telling Rick earlier when we saw the live performance by the earlier group how they keep their footing on very damp and wet pavement through the puddles. They don't miss a step.
They don't even seem to touch. They're so light.
Charlie Schaefer, come on, you can use that one.
The 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade on Central New York 9, brought to you in part by the Sam Dell Group. Be part of the March Motorcade. Also by the Downtown Committee, Downtown Has It All, and Onondaga Beverage Corporation, the distributor of Guinness and Harp imported Irish beer.
Come on, join the parade.
It's the Samdell Group March Motorcade of Values.
All 9 Samdell locations are in formation with great March savings.
The customer's always right.
That's the Samdell policy.
And we'll prove it with the Samdell March Motorcade.
Samdell Ford leads the way with a 36-month lease on this award-winning Ford Tempo at just $197.91 a month.
This 90 Ford Escort 2-door 5-speed is right in step with financing as low as 6.9% and a price of $75.49.
You can try Dell first.
Try Dell last.
Just try the Samdell Group.
It certainly is exciting to watch today's parade in downtown Syracuse, but you know, you don't have to wait for a parade to enjoy a visit to downtown. There's lots going on almost any time. If you haven't yet visited the shops in Armory Square or ridden the new Salt City Trolley, you may have missed part of the excitement of downtown. How about the new galleries on South Salina Street, or the exciting variety of downtown restaurants? More than 200 shops are also located right here. Isn't it time you visited downtown again?
It's misty here at Ireland, but it's always sunny at old Duncan O'Bright's Irish Bargain Party.
It started 40 years ago, and now it is the biggest furniture sale of the year. This fun-filled event features beautiful furniture at the lowest prices of $19.90. Living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, and just about everything to make your home the home of your dreams.
Don't miss the fun of shopping at old Duncan O'Bright's Irish Bargain Party.
It's Oh Duncan O'Bright. Oh Duncan O'Bright. Oh Duncan O'Bright.
The 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade on Central New York 9, brought to you in part by the Downtown Committee. Downtown Has It All. Jack of Hearts, your floor covering store. Guinness and Harp imported Irish beers, distributed locally by Onondaga Beverage Corporation. Oh Duncan O'Bright, reminding you that the Irish Bargain Party ends tomorrow. The Samdell Group. Try us and find out how good we really are. And by Falso Heating. We're not happy until you are.
And we welcome you back to the parade. Dan Cummings along with me, Rick Gary, and Nancy Duffy. And you see the caroliers there. Choraliers, I'm sorry.
And there you see the Tonawanda Clown Band, Tonawanda. They're all policemen as well as clowns and musicians.
They certainly don't clown around when it comes to music.
Oh,
do a very nice job.
Been doing that since 1963. That's a real commitment. From Tonawanda, Western New York. Boy, we're drawing it from all over upstate.
Yeah,
Not
I
to
know.
mention Canada, but Buffalo, Rochester. Makes you wonder who's left in their parades today.
Well, let's see. Maybe we ought to join the parades together, and from Buffalo to Syracuse, we could march on the thruway.
Right down the thruway.
March 17th.
Those engineers you spoke of earlier would kill you if you.
Yeah, I'm sure they would. Yes.
There's a boat coming along now from Chicopee, Massachusetts.
Chicopee.
And actually it represents what's going on over at the War Memorial. The Sports Expo is going on over there, and they've been very supportive, helped us, and it's a real new alliance. And there you can hear Mickey Flynn.
Oh, there's a nice fish. Well, I think it's time we head on into the hotel, and we have Mike Otis in there in the Imperial Ballroom. Mike, it's all yours.
Rick, Dan, and Nancy, we're inside the hotels here at Shamrock Square, just outside the Crystal Court. And in fact, there's a giant big screen TV where everyone's inside having a great time staying dry and watching the parade. And actually, this is probably the best spot today with the rain that we've had out there. A lot of people lining throughout the area, through down the hallway here, up along the windows here. And I got some buddies out here watching the parade with me today. It's a great spot to see it from up here. And what's your name? Nathan. All right. Okay, I got another one here. I know this guy wants to talk. What's your name? Eric. Okay, Eric, turn around this way so everybody can see you. And where are you from, buddy?
Camillus.
Camillus, you having a good time here today?
Yeah.
You like watching the parade up here instead of being down on the street?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of the fire truck.
Oh, okay. You like watching those fire trucks. Staying a little drier up here, too, huh?
Yeah.
Who'd you come here with today?
My mom and dad.
And they having a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. Everybody, it is really the best seat in the place here, up here by the windows. Everybody having a really good time and celebrating, keeping dry, and enjoying the parade. And there is quite a view from up here, actually. You can see everybody passing by. A lot of people lining the streets, but as we said, staying a lot drier up here at the hotels at Shamrock Square. Rick, Dan, and Nancy, back to you.
All right, Mike, fine. Now get back outside where you belong and put your coat back on.
You know, we must confess, too, that we're also inside.
Oh, we are?
Yeah. It's made it a lot easier this year, indeed.
Oh, our window on the world.
Yes.
And we're real happy to be bringing it to you this afternoon on Central New York 9.
That's a cute float. The Holy Family effort this year. These floats are so improved over the first parade. Do you remember that? Capitol Brass of Albany. Here they are. This is the senior drum and bugle corps.
Oh, really? Very nice.
Yeah, drum and bugle corps have fallen on hard times. This is the only one left upstate, to our knowledge.
That's right. It has a junior drum and bugle corps attached to it that will be seen later in the parade, the Royal Knights. They broke down, by the way, and arrived a half hour late, but they're still here. The bus broke down.
Has to be a difficult horn to play in that position and marching for a great distance.
Difficult horn to hold, much
Yes.
less.
Did you ever play?
I tried the French horn for a few years. Gave it up. Too much practice.
You don't want to be perfect at it, so gave up the practice end of it.
This is the Syracuse Rescue Mission float this year.
One of their new projects, of course, is Streetlight, where they try to help out homeless youngsters, and it's been very successful thanks to the leadership of Clarence Jordan, his board of directors, and the others on the staff of the Syracuse Rescue Mission. Get those young people back into society, off the street, and get their lives back on the right road. South Salina Street in Syracuse, New York is the right road today, all afternoon, the 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade.
What is that, Rick?
That looks like a salt shaker on skis. Did I hit that one?
You're right. It's the Salt City Ski Club.
That's it.
No.
That's great.
That's great, yes.
The salt of the earth, I guess.
Now, the Southside Pride, I've got to tell you about this group. It started out to be one unit, and they invited everybody in the valley to march with them, and it now has a color guard and a float and a marching group and Little League and a trolley full of Southside businessmen, and it represents the whole South Side. That's the American Legion from the valley. I think it's 1458. Here's Our Lady of Lourdes, which is, I think, is that Tom Young's parish?
Now you've got me. I asked Rick a riddle earlier about the original Louie Louie, and I can't do that one.
Yeah.
For you. I think you might be right.
You might be. We're going to go with you, Nancy.
Okay.
On that one.
If anyone knows the answer, call in.
Tom Young, if you're out there, call in.
Lots of little kids. I would say the average age of parade watcher, maybe between 2 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they enjoy it the most. I mean, those kids up there in the hotel with Mike Otis, they knew why they came here. Look at the fire trucks.
Look at the fire trucks and look at the fire trucks. Yes. Yes, indeed.
Loretto Geriatric Center coming straight at you. They're very active down there at Loretto, aren't they? They get involved in absolute wide variety of projects.
And they spend literally months getting ready for something like the St. Patrick's Parade.
Talked about the average age of parade goers. Here's the end that brings the average up just a little bit and adds a little maturity.
Oh, and there is the Burn Dairy truck, a traditional old-fashioned milk wagon drawn with a pony, covered wagon. It's drawn with 4 mules. You probably know.
That's one horse. One horse. I don't see any 4. There's the other one. I'm old enough. I'm old enough to remember milk wagons like that. I'm sure you are. Well, maybe not quite. I'm sorry.
Lots of learning here.
Well, they did, just up until 5 years ago they had them. Okay, we'll let it go at that.
And the more modern transport of dairy products from longtime Syracuse company, Burn Dairy.
And Mark Byrne and Bill Byrne Jr. marching alongside the milk wagon. And the grandsons of the founder, Matt Byrne Sr. The dairy was founded in 1933, same time as Coleman's.
What a coincidence. Pete Coleman, one of our grand marshals.
Nothing better than ice cream and beer. Yes, sir.
This is another Buffalo pipe band. They're the Company D Buffalo City Guard Gordon Highlanders. Sounds like the Tom Dooley Choraleers are singing to the songs being played by the band.
Yes, they are.
And they're doing quite an excellent job of matching them as they go along.
We're going to look at some more numbers. We're going to look at some numbers from the 1983, the first parade in Syracuse. And there you see it. The floats in 1983 numbered 15 to 20. Today it's 300. Nancy, how do you do this? The band's numbered 3. We have 60 today. Volunteers were 100. It's up to a half 1,000. The months in planning, well, Nancy will tell you that. It's not just 6 anymore. It's a year-round job. We had 30,000 in that first parade of 83, and now 125,000 expected.
I just want to change that around a little bit. It's not 12 normal months.
Well, that can't get any bigger. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
No.
Next year I can just see, we'll put that up there and they'll have 13 months.
This is the birthday girls and the potato ladies, and they're, you just have to mention them because they have been with us from the very beginning. In the beginning, they just ran around in potato sacks and gave out potatoes with little Irish flags on them, and now they're a tradition.
Look at the number of people along that parade route. South Salina Street. Live coverage of the 1990 Syracuse St. Pat's Parade, and they go 4, 5, and 6 deep along this street. There's a sack of potatoes.
Now, that used to be an in fashion back in the 60s, right? The sack?
How would I know that?
You don't know that either, right? Boy, let me put my foot in my mouth every time here, right?
The Irish potato ladies are still giving out their potatoes.
Well, yeah, Rick, when they delivered your milk in that old wagon, they
I
probably
remember
brought
that.
the potatoes at the same time with the sack.
Oh, boy.
Well, that's an Irish full 7-course dinner, you know.
That's right.
6-pack of beer and a potato.
It's American Association of Retired Persons right there. And this is their first float. And that's a real active group. Talk about a young at heart group. The AARP.
Yes. Wasn't quite sure what they were playing on that float. If they were playing some kind of a hockey game or.
It's the Salt City Trolley.
Yeah.
Get with the AARP members inside.
I like it. Orange and green and peace in between.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah. Glad you picked that up.
Well, we pay him for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's designed it.
You know, Tim Fox did a story for us the other night in the news out of Richmond where the Orangemen are playing this weekend, and they have trolleys that are identical to these.
Yes, they are. They're quite successful.
Yeah.
I enjoy these.
Oh,
they're really nice to ride. And it's if you haven't ridden one or come downtown and
they are so in demand today. I want you to know that so many parade groups, units wanted to use the trolley.
Yeah.
They can just get that rail line going that Rick Guy and others want to see circulate from the new Carousel Mall to Armory Square and back. Those trolleys could really be.
I think that's a fabulous idea. I really do.
These are the lamplighters. They're from Smiths Falls, Ontario.
Everybody wants some bags. They're laying down here. Hey, we got some art bags over here.
They've been going at it since 1957 as a group. They started as a trumpet band, became a drum corps in 1963, so 27 years later, here they are, 1990, the Syracuse St. Pat's Parade. Like most of the musical groups that come here, Nancy, they've won a lot of competitions.
You know, in Canada, they have a lot of Christmas parades, Santa Claus parade, and parades are more of a tradition, I think, in Canada than it is here.
1990 drum corps champions for junior corps from New York, and the Canadian Junior A champs.
What was your first Canadian connection in the parades? How did you meld the two together here?
The Prime Minister of Brian Mulrooney, remember when he came?
That's right, yeah, that's right. The 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade on Central New York 9, brought to you in part by your local Chrysler, Jeep, and Eagle dealers. Payless Shoe Source for value with style. Who'd have guessed? Payless. Burger King, home of the new BK broiler. To get a chicken sandwich this good, sometimes you've got to break the rules.
In an age of artificial turf and superdomes, there's still a place where the game is pure and rugged, and the beer has to be smooth and refreshing. Introducing Guinness Gold. The golden lager beer that's as uncompromising as the people who drink it. Guinness Gold. Now there's a Guinness for everyone.
The seasons are beautiful. But at Falso Heating, we think they're best left outdoors. When you come home, you deserve to be comfortable. And you can be, because Falso installs the latest high-efficiency furnaces from Carrier. And Falso provides fast, excellent service, too. You'll keep warm because we keep our word. Call Falso today. Keeping our word, keeping you comfortable. Since 1882.
You've heard big home improvement stores say that bigger is better. Buy more and sell for less. What they don't tell you is that they don't buy more of all products. They advertise 1 or 2 sale items to get you in the store and then grab your money on the other purchases. Bigger stores have big expenses, big rents, big payrolls, and big storage. CVE Supply wants you to compare lighting products. You'll see that little is better. CVE always has low prices every day and special sales for even better values. And you get expert personal service. Remember CVE Supply for all your electric needs.
And another welcome back to the St. Patrick's Day Parade of 1990 in Syracuse. Rick Gary along with Nancy Duffy and Dan Cummings. And one thing we've noted now since we've been here for the almost 2 hours, the umbrellas are down. So an indication that the rain has stopped.
Goodbye to the rain.
Either that or people have just gotten so wet that they're used to it now.
Sure.
Either way, but yes, the rain has stopped.
And meteorologist Dave Eichhorn, I've seen him come by. Now that the rain stops, nobody's going to be shooting arrows at him.
He's in hiding now. Yeah.
He called it, and we knew it was coming, and it's gone, and that's the beauty of it. It's gone. It's nice downtown. St. Anne's, Tom Young's church.
Oh, that's
Thanks
right.
to Billy Button for setting us straight, and Mayor Young.
Well, setting Nancy straight, we weren't quite sure. Nancy was the one that went into that one.
Yes.
The mayor.
There's the two Grand Marshals again, Peter Coleman and Gene Doherty, the orange and the green. And they're walking for some reason in front of the Schenectady Pipe Band from Schenectady.
They were at the front of the parade, weren't they?
Well, they probably wanted to march some more.
I was going to say.
Oh,
The Schenectady Pipe Band of the 1988 Northeast United States Pipe Band Champions.
Wow! This is the story that's happened to Martin and audio.
Again, you'll notice that they're here. There's the Rose of Tralee, or rather the Shamrock Queen, and she is the daughter of St. Patrick, Kevin Walsh. And the Shamrock Queen this year is Kelly Colleen Patrick Walsh, 20-year-old Syracuse University student from North Syracuse.
Is that the theme?
That's it.
His father, he was orange, and his mother, she was green. Zip, 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 zip. Orange and green with peas in between. Always is the biggest mix-up that you'll have.
You know, for a minute there, I thought they said it was the biggest pizza you'd ever seen. And I couldn't figure that out, but now I know what they were singing.
An original composition.
We saw the Syracuse Up Downtowners there for a while. They've always helped with the marshal duties.
Out of Oneida County comes our next marching band, the Camden Middle School Blue Devil Marching Band.
Camden has two bands in the parade. This is the high school band that is really an outstanding band from Oneida County.
Band director Michael Miller. Nancy Congdon heads up the color guard.
Their selections today in the parade are from the Phantom of the Opera. And I hope we get a chance to hear them.
How'd it go, Camden? How'd it go, Camden Middle School? Listen to that play. Listen to that play.
Lakeside Bosse's. There was a fire in the Bosse's float earlier this week.
Was there really?
And it had to be totally redone.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, how long have they been working on it up until that time?
Oh, they planned it over a year's time.
It's the Irish flag.
orange and the green, again, with peace in between, the handshake of peace in the middle of the Irish flag.
That's nicely done.
That's very creative.
Yes.
Oh, there it is. Hello there. Goodbye.
I think it's time we go down to Mike Otis now with the Shamrock Queen. Mike, you lucky devil,
Rick.
you.
Yeah, Rick, thank you. And things are drying out here, and that makes things a little bit better for everybody. And with me is the Shamrock Queen from this year's 1990 St. Patrick's Day Parade, Kelly Walsh.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, thanks. And yourself?
I'm doing terrific, and since the rain stopped, I think everybody's doing a lot better. Congratulations on being this year's Shamrock Queen.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You having a good time?
Oh, I'm having a wonderful time.
What's been the highlight so far this year?
Representing Syracuse, I think, is a highlight. I think that's great.
Did you have fun during the competition?
Yes. It was great fun.
And what kind of things did you have to go through to become the Shamrock Queen?
Basically just interviews. Just interviews.
And a lot of them?
Yeah. You have to have a great dedication to the Syracuse celebration and have a good appreciation for your Irish heritage.
And I'm sure you do.
Yes, I do.
And what are the plans now? I mean, what is your job entitled throughout the parade? Just kind of go around saying hi to people?
Yes. Just to represent Syracuse. Show its good size.
All right. Congratulations again, Kelly. Kelly Walsh, this year's 1990 St. Patrick's Day Parade Shamrock Queen. Rick, Nancy, and Dan, back to you.
What a beautiful representative she is, Rick and Nancy. Kelly Walsh, Shamrock Queen.
You know, I may go out on a limb again, but have you heard of many young Colleens having the name Patrick as a middle name?
No. No, you know, I never thought of that.
It's a nice addition. I like it. But this is the Oppenheim Ephrata Marching Hawks. Did I pronounce that correctly?
I think so.
It sounds good enough for me, really.
They're from St. Johnsville. And that's, that's in the far eastern area of the Adirondacks.
Yeah. Capital District, generally speaking, for those of us from central New York. They're somewhere near a thruway exit. And that is not at all to demean or to belittle them. They represent their community very well. 6th year of competition for them.
They've placed many times in first place, and included in the Sharon Springs Parade, Fort Plain, Little Falls, and Dolgeville. To their credit, the Color Guard also won first place at the Fort Plain Parade in 1988. Let's give a listen.
For the first year this year, we're giving a prize to the most spirited band. And you really can't judge these bands on the traditional standards because there's so many different kinds. You know, you have Division A and Division AAA and fife and drum and pipe and fireman's band. But there will be a prize given to the most spirited band. And our band chairman, Stan Colella, has a team of professional musicians judging it.
Now, when will we know the winners?
Well, if the parade doesn't go too long, maybe before we go off the air.
Great.
This is Paragon Supply and their truck. They're right at the foot of Tipperary Hill and have been there since 1888. And they said, rain or shine, they don't mind being part of this parade. Very nice. There's the Freihofer wagon.
Very first parade, I have to tell you this, the Freihofer wagon broke down on the thruway, never got here, and we had about 400 girls from Nottingham High School that were eager to give out the free Freihofer cookies.
Sweet pea. Hello there, sweet pea. Smile, sweet pea. Smile, sweet pea.
The 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade on Central New York 9, brought to you proudly in part by PNC, the unbeatable price champion, Onondaga Beverage Corporation, local distributor of great domestic and imported beers and ales, and Falso Heating. We're not comfortable until you are. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Darlene from Adirondack Colonial Furniture.
Darlene would like you to come down and celebrate our 12th anniversary and St. Patrick's Day sale with us. At Adirondack, we have a wide variety of S-bend furniture. We also have self-storing, gear-driven innkeeper's tables.
What a mess. Don't worry, because my mom just bought a stain-resistant S-bend table at Adirondack Colonial Furniture.
Select from rockers, hutches, and many more pieces. Adirondack Colonial Furniture, corner of Fly Road and Route 298.
Our apples for the Student's Report Card.
Thank you to Lakeland Elementary School, your first computer. Congratulations.
Here's your new Macintosh computer.
We would like to present you with the 2 brand new Apple computers.
Come on, join the parade.
It's the Samdale Group March Motorcade of Value.
All 9 Samdale Group locations are in formation with great March savings.
The customer is always right.
That's the Samdale policy.
And we'll prove it with this Samdale March Motorcade.
Samdale Jeep Eagle shows the way to easy travel with this 90 Jeep Cherokee Limited. It's a demo at $21,500.
Donahue Dodge makes it easy to lead the parade with the 1990 Dodge Dakota Club Cab LE, now priced at $12,860.
You can try Dell first.
Try Dell last.
Just try the Samdale Group.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from Central New York 9.
Okay, we're here with one of the grand marshals. You're both grand people, Gene Doherty, but Peter Coleman is here with us right now. I think Gene's having a grand time somewhere.
Oh, I'll tell you, Gene and I were standing on that reviewing stand. I said, it was so much fun walking down the first part. I said, we got to finish the rest of this route here. And she's all for it, so she's down there. You just caught me working the crowd.
And apparently it's the 2 of you are having a grand time.
I'm telling you, I mean, I knew this would be, I was expecting to have some fun, but when we first started out and started working each side of the street, I said, this is like working the best restaurant in the world, outside, really.
You know something about that business,
I'm telling you, this was really fun, though.
And the crowd kind of parted.
Oh, yeah.
Up pretty good.
It started off like a real Irish parade if you were in Ireland, you know, soft rain. In Ireland, they say it's a nice soft day, and then it just dissipated, and here we are.
Okay,
out with Mike Price.
Grand guy, we'll let you get back to do some grand
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Happy
Peter.
St. Patrick's Day.
Let's get back now to Dan and Nancy and Rick.
What a gentleman, huh? Be out there.
It is a soft day, too, isn't it?
And it's a perfect day for Peter Coleman to be the Grand Marshal because it is St. Patrick's Day, and you really have to make him a Grand Marshal on the day itself. Not on the 12th or the 13th or...
Wouldn't do for him.
We're looking at some of Ireland's finest as far as the dog world is concerned. The Irish Wolfhound, one of the dogs that we're looking at right now. You put them up on their hind legs and they'll be about 6 feet or not more, you know, at the shoulders. You know, they're big dogs when they stand right up. And they even though they're big, they're very gentle. Very
you know
gentle
what I could never understand is that the Irish only ever ate potatoes and the dogs only ever ate potatoes, skins, and everybody is big.
Well, potatoes are very nutritional food.
Hey, look at those balloons.
And it's orange and green. Somebody said to me, why do we have such record-breaking temperatures this year? And I said, well, that's what happens when you bring the orange and the green together.
Good thought. Before that shot with the balloons in the air, almost looked like a clearing sky somewhere on the horizon. I think it's getting lighter to the west. The Onondaga Nation School Band, students grades 5 through 8, make up that group.
Casey Bardoon is their leader. I saw Casey, as a matter of fact, last night. He is a schoolmate of Ron Lombard, Syracuse University. They played in the marching band up there together.
But we won't hold that against him.
No, we will not. Ron, if you're watching,
keep watching and come to work.
Yeah, see, now there are Irish optimists, sunglasses on, on a day that's been cloudy and rainy.
I think we're going to see some more balloons released. Someone stole Derek Coleman's jersey. I think she better get it back to him before tomorrow afternoon.
This is a beautiful balloon WFBL Music of Your Life balloon, but it also had a lot of balloons from, well, our friend the Rooster, who also runs a balloon operation.
delivers balloons for your birthday.
Oh, yeah, that's
right.
Yeah, he'll come in.
Balloonograms.
Yeah. Balloon something. Balloonograms.
Balloonograms. He comes in and sings. Yeah, I've had the occasion to be sung to by that chicken.
A highlight of your life, I'm
Oh,
sure.
yes. Yeah.
When is your birthday, Rick?
February.
Oh, we've missed it
Yeah.
for this year.
February. You knew that, Nancy. You're always telling me that such and such is, going to happen. You're under what star? And
That's right.
see, Nancy has a crystal ball in the newsroom, and we all go to Nancy. And I was born in such and such, and she'll tell you exactly what's going to happen.
Well, the crystal ball today has dried up the parade route, and we're grateful for that. What an outstanding exposition in 1990.
I'll tell you a group that really is happy, and that's the Mummers, because they don't march in the rain.
We haven't talked a lot about the Mummers yet, because there was that question of whether or not the rain might take their feathers off them, and we might not see them in all their glory. But I'm sure now.
Somebody said that they would
Mummers
march in the rain, but they would march featherless. Is that correct?
Well, that would be, yes, but a featherless mummer is not really quite the same.
It's not a mummer at all.
You might say if they did that, it would not tickle our fancy as much.
Yeah, you might say.
Yeah, I might say that, and I did.
And of course, this year we are calling them by their official parade name, the Marine Midland Mummers, because of the graciousness and generosity of Marine Midland Bank as their sponsor.
Now here comes a whole truckload of Rolling Rock beer.
In green bottles, not green beer.
No, just green bottles.
The drinking of the green. Always in moderation, though.
This looks like Tracy's float.
And it is definitely an oversized load. The
And kids
like,
again.
Yeah, they love to see this stuff.
It's like Fisher Price toys or something.
Tonka toys.
Tonka toys, yes. And there is another band, one of the 60 bands that we had, the Mystic Knights Drum and Bugle Corps of Oswego. They've just reorganized.
28 young members. Average age is 14 for this group, and don't they look every bit of 14 years old?
Their big parade in Oswego, of course, is the 4th of July parade.
Knights Drum and Bugle Corps.
The 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade on Central New York 9, brought to you in part by Chapel, serving Central New York since 1895, your local Chrysler, Jeep, and Eagle dealers, and Burger King, home of the new BK broiler. To get a chicken sandwich this good, sometimes you've got to break the rules, and don't break the rules here. You stay right there. We're going to be back.
It certainly is exciting to watch today's parade in downtown Syracuse, but you know, you don't have to wait for a parade to enjoy a visit to downtown. There's lots going on almost any time. If you haven't yet visited the shops in Armory Square or ridden the new Salt City Trolley, you may have missed part of the excitement of downtown. How about the new galleries on South Salina Street, or the exciting variety of downtown restaurants? More than 200 shops are also located right here. Isn't it time you visited downtown again?
There's never been a better time to save on Eagle. Get a guaranteed rebate on Eagle Premier and guaranteed cash back on the sporty new Eagle Talon. There's never been a better time to save on Jeep. Get a guaranteed rebate on Jeep Cherokee and first time ever cash back on the legendary Jeep Wrangler. The legendary Jeep Wrangler. Thank you.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer, where you can expect the best.
The winds of change are blowing with a chicken sandwich made a whole new way. It's flame broiled to perfection, which means it can only come from one place. Introducing the BK Broiler Flame Broiled Chicken Sandwich. To make a great tasting chicken sandwich, sometimes you've got to break the rules. And now, after 4 p.m., buy one BK Broiler and get a second for just 99 cents.
And welcome back to the 1990 St. Patrick's Day Parade in Syracuse. I'm Rick Gary, Nancy Duffy along with me, and Dan Cummings. As we're taking a look at some of the buildings that are loaded with people, the sidewalks that are definitely packed, and the rain that has definitely stopped now. But surely, and I like what the Irish say about a rainy day like this, a soft day. We started out with a soft day, and that was a light rain.
No, it's hard.
It's what? It's a hard day?
But in other words, that the rain is gone. This is the Adirondack Pipe Band. Do they look like they're from the Adirondacks?
Not at all. Not at all.
They look like they're from Scotland, I think.
I would think so, yes.
In their 40th year, the Adirondack Bagpipe Band. The uniform of the Black Watch is what they wear.
And this is also about the 4th year they have returned. American Cancer Society float is next. And it's launching a positive and creative campaign against cancer.
Now for a closer look at that float, let's go to Mike Otis. Mike?
Rick, thank you. I'm up on a Caterpillar here, and they got some great sweatshirts here. I don't know if you can see those or not. They say the orange and the green. I'm about ready to fall and make it a little red here, too. Don't ask me why we're up here. We just thought we'd catch a ride and see what was going on from this side of a float. And we've been letting loose a lot of orange, white, and green balloons here as we stroll down past the grandstand and all the people here. It's a fun ride.
All right, Mike. You know, between Mike Otis and Mike Price, I don't know which one is having the most fun down there.
Well, they just hitch a ride on any float.
Hitch a ride on a floater as Mike Price, and I hope he gets a chance to march and sing again. I hope we get him back out there.
That's been a highlight. I hope those who turned in late missed something special.
Yes.
One of the many radio stations in the parade, SYR Mobile Studio, followed by the only family float. At least that's what they claim. I'm not sure, but it's the Harrington family. Jesse Harrington and his family.
Better be careful. We might be starting a trend here.
Family floats.
They're all redhead, too. They're all the redheaded Harringtons.
But that's something maybe to be encouraged. Other families that might want to take part in next year's parade.
That's right. And I interviewed Jesse Harrington one time, quite by accident, doing Man on the Street.
Oh, really?
And met him personally.
Of course, Irish families only need apply. Irish, Scottish, or something in between.
You know, the parade really isn't an Irish parade. It really is a Syracuse parade, as you can tell. And truly a community event with every aspect of the community represented, ethnic or otherwise.
We have the Madison Central School Band right now. These are the Blue Devils, the Marching Blue Devils. Second in Mohawk Pageant of Bands. First in, is that Waterville? Deansboro. And Fireman's Field Days. Let's listen to the Madison Band now.
the Coraliers are on the same note.
I like it. They seem to have been able to sing along with many of the groups, as well as Mike Price. However, we have Mike Price now, but not in a singing capacity, but in an interviewer capacity with Gene Doherty. Mike, it's yours.
Excuse me, ma'am. Here she is now. We finally found her. The second half of the Grand Marshal team, Gene Doherty. What do you think of that?
I'm having a wonderful time, and I think everybody is. I got smiling faces, everybody's in a really good mood. And Nancy Duffy predicted that everything would turn out right, and it did. The skies may not be blue, but we don't need blue for St. Patrick's Day.
I think she talks to the right people. Maybe the man upstairs.
Wonderful connections.
Now, I know that you've done some viewing of the Grand Marshal, and then you also marching as the Grand Marshal.
And I like both of them. But it was fun waving to the bands as they went by and waving to the people and seeing so many people involved from so many places. It's not just a Syracuse parade anymore, Mike. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing myself on television.
Well, I don't think we want to compete with this Steve Solero horn here. Gene,
Okay,
thanks very much.
Mike. Nice
Happy
to see
St.
you.
Patrick's Day to you.
See you, darling.
Okay, Nancy, Dan, Rick.
Thank you, Mike. Very warm, hospitable person, Gene Doherty.
Look at the
Romans band. Oh, yeah.
The unmistakable chicken dance.
They did this last year. This is great. Everybody up in front of your TV set and do this.
There's Miss Salt City Teenager, one of the dozens of queens and princesses. And, you know, as we speak, the Miss Greater Syracuse competition is going on over at the Civic Center. They're choosing a new Miss Greater Syracuse, and Heather Cantu is the current winner, title holder. That's not a title holder. That's
McGruff. Put a bite on crime.
And the SU Security Department. You know, this is the first year that Syracuse University has been in the parade. Ironically, one of their floats was vandalized. They couldn't. This is the Lion Rampant, you know, the only accordion band in North America. The band director's name is Cromwell, but we won't hold that against him.
Squeezebox Serenaders.
Brought to you in part by Duncan O'Bright. Their biggest furniture sale of the year ends tomorrow. By Payless Shoe Source. For value and style, who'd have guessed? Payless. And by the Sam Dell Group. Wishing you a happy St. Patrick's Day.
All right, Kappa 6.
Duncan O'Bright presents Patty O'Bright's band marching to the biggest furniture sale of the year. Duncan O'Bright's Irish Bargain Party. 'Tis a fun-filled event featuring the lowest prices of the year on furniture, carpeting, bedding, and accessories. And the selection is the largest in New York State. Enjoy the Irish music, Irish refreshments, and Irish gifts with every purchase. And maybe win a trip for two to Ireland. So march on down to Duncan O'Bright and save on beautiful home furnishings. That's Duncan O'Bright. Duncan O'Bright.
In an age of artificial turf and superdomes, there's still a place where the game is pure and rugged, and the beer has to be smooth and refreshing. Introducing Guinness Gold. The golden lager beer that's as uncompromising as the people who drink it. Guinness Gold. Now there's a Guinness for everyone.
Nice to know there are special moments and special places that are still personally yours.
And we certainly hope you're enjoying the 1990 St. Patrick's Day Parade here in Syracuse. I'm Rick Gary, Dan Cummings with me, Nancy Duffy, and we've had a spectacular time watching some 300 floats, mind you, 60 bands, 12 pipe bands. It goes on. And of course, everybody's waiting for the Marine Midland Mummers to show, and they will be here. The rain has stopped.
I just heard from our ham radio operator, Vivian, who is keeping track of all of this, and said they're less than 15 minutes away on the line of march. So we will see how it goes. And it's so warm that you don't need a coat in downtown Syracuse.
Nor an umbrella anymore. All those bumper chutes are down at this point. Earlier in the parade, the streets were lined with them.
And would you say 200,000?
That'd be my guess. I was going to say 250,000, but I always tend to go on the high side.
This is a Miss Onondaga County petite teenager, I believe.
Is she a cutie?
Isn't she? Miss preteen petite. And she is from North Syracuse. Have you noticed that there's people from all over Onondaga County as well as Canada and Buffalo, Schenectady?
Yeah, it's nice. It makes it a kind of a total picture when it comes to St. Patrick's Day. It includes all the communities in and around central New York and spilling over into Canada, even folks from Buffalo.
Eagles of Central New York, they're from Verona. Wow, they have really come back. They have a renewed program. I like the shamrocks on their flag. The bear. That's the program to save Surah Bear at the Burnett Park Zoo.
Sarah has been saved. She will be going to Texas next week, I believe.
That's the breaking news. A new development.
Oh, a new development.
Yes. More on that Monday. Is going to Texas. I wish I knew the proper name for this wildlife area where it's going, where they take animals that have been.
Yeah, we'll try to follow that story for you, but in the interest of good, solid information, I'll recommend the Morning Post Standard to you.
There you go.
They had a complete story in it, and the bear is apparently on the way to being saved. Yes,
which is great.
And there, of course, is the zoo bus. You know, Romney, as you probably know, would have been here, but we have our Connecticut elephant, Nancy, who will be showing up in Division 6.
Okay. All right, we can't wait for Nancy.
The zoo bus going to be back in.
That's a neat bus.
Yeah,
that really is.
Back in operation before long.
You are making a big contribution here.
We're already taking the applications for next year. You know, the big time for applications for the parade is always right after the parade. People watching it say, gee, I'd like to be in it next year. Of course, at this point, I'm not ready to think about next year.
No, I wouldn't think so. Those 13 months that you work on this.
Yes, those 14, 15 months of planning.
Old Glory watching over the parade today. Coraliers have done a great job, haven't they? They sung the entire parade, and they...
That started out as the Patsy Fagan Trio 28 years ago. Michael Pikashevich just thought, even though he's not Irish, he just thought there should be a group of Irish singers. And they used to meet at the Green Gate Inn, Ed Spillett's old place up on the west side, and it developed into the Tom Dooley Coraliers.
Here comes the George F. Scott Drum and Bugle Corps.
No, I think it's changed to the Henry P. Kearse. Let's see which one of us is right.
It says George F. Scott.
Okay, George. Yes, well, this is exciting. George F. Scott, this is brand new this year. They started last summer. It's part of the Dunbar Center. And this is their first parade. The first time they've worn T-shirts and pants together as their uniform. And it's an exciting rekindling of the old Elks band of the 60s.
They got answers in that. Boy, huh? There's some moves for you. Gee, they should put on a workout team.
George F. Scott, by the way, just died last week and has been taken over by Henry Kearse, but they don't have a new sign yet. It's the name of this Drum and Bugle Corps.
Inspire the youth of Central New York. I think it'd be hard for the Coraliers to keep up with this Drum and Bugle Corps.
They've got that lateral movement.
How far did you go? I put down a block and then I ran into some of one of the guys from my group.
Quick reminder that the Mummers are not far away if you're staying with us for an annual highlight, what has become an annual highlight, the Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade, the Durning String Band, this year the Marine Midland Mummers.
And it's becoming a big thing for them, too. The first year, we had to coax them to come. I mean, we had brought them with sandwiches and cokes, and, as well as money. And the first year, they never left. You know, they were here at 10 o'clock that night. And I was awfully worried they were going to start charging by the hour. And ever since then, they have been one of the first bands to sign up for a tour.
That's great.
Well, the committee and the corporate sponsors take real good care of them, too. I know the Pyramid Corporation, the Pyramid Companies help them out on parade morning with a little brunch and get together.
That's right, and they'll be performing at the Landmark Theater after the parade. They put in a grueling day's work here. As you know, it's not easy to do what they do. The Bonton Glass and Syracuse Glass talking about corporate sponsors. They've been loyal corporate sponsors. I can't say enough about the corporate sponsors because we wouldn't have a parade without them. The bands cost $45,000 every year. It was a struggle to get that money and to have some left over to benefit Project Children. And we wouldn't be able to do it without the likes of Bonton Syracuse Glass Company.
I think we have Mike Price, again, enjoying a ride, enjoying the entire parade as it moves on down Salina Street, and he's on the river, what is it, the Riverfront? Riverfest float. Okay,
Michael. Thank you, Rick. I'm here with, this is unusual, we have co-captains on this boat. This is Captain Paul and Captain Bruce. Tell us about your river boat here, would you?
Well, it's marking our festival, which is the last week in June in Brockville, Ontario, Canada. And we're right on the St. Lawrence River, and what better emblem to have than a riverboat?
And it's a delight to have you with us. Have you been in a parade before in past years?
We've been in parade, but never the Syracuse parade. We're glad to be here.
Hey, I don't want to distract you. What's your wake look like back there? It looks like we have a Continental Drum and Bugle Corps behind us there.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thanks very much, gentlemen. Captains Paul and Bruce, thanks very much. This is from the Brockville Riverfest.
That's a nice float.
Oh, yeah. Another Canadian connection.
Yes.
It's the first Canadian float in the parade.
That's right. Most of the Canadians we've had have been in pipe bands.
That's right, pipe and drum and bugle corps. This is, of course, from neighboring Camden, and it's the oldest pipe and drum corps in the United States. This started in the Revolutionary War.
1850.
Wait a second. You're saying 1850.
Well, that's when this corps was organized. But who's to say? The concept...
They don't look that old.
They're right. I wouldn't put them any more than 140.
Oh, they were at President Grant's inauguration. I thought it was President Washington's. Okay.
Well, they know who's buried in Grant's tomb then, right? All right, Mike Price really knows a lot about the Coast Guard because he is one himself. Mike?
Thank you, Rick. Yes, this is the United States Coast Guard. You see they have a special flag there. That's because it's the 200th anniversary of the Coast Guard, which was founded in 1790. And the contingent you see walking by us right now is from the Syracuse Reserve Unit here. That's Coast Guard Reserve Syracuse, the Color Guard, and the marching unit here. The boat that you see following the marching unit, that's a rigid hull inflatable 24-foot emergency craft that they use for search and rescue, and that's being supplied today by the Oswego Search and Rescue Station in Oswego, New York. And directly behind them is another craft coming by here. This is a safety boat that is furnished by the Coast Guard Auxiliary in this area. So as a result, the Coast Guard is well represented here with the reserve unit here from Syracuse, the regular Coast Guard from Oswego with their rigid hull 24-foot emergency boat, and the patrol boat of the Coast Guard Auxiliary. So on their 200th anniversary, founded in 1790, the Coast Guard, which incidentally happens to be the nation's oldest continuous seagoing service from 1790 to 1990. Okay, Rick, Nancy, Dan.
And we salute the Coast Guard. The 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade on Central New York 9, brought to you in part by Adirondack Colonial Furniture, the largest S-bent dealer in Central New York. Jack of Hearts, your floor covering store, and the Downtown Committee. Downtown has it all. Don't go away. We got more for you.
Like any good coach, honey, a mom knows the score. Say your center, your guard, and your power forward all need athletic shoes, and you don't have the payroll of the pros. Well, it's no sweat. Payless has athletic shoes on sale in all the popular styles and for about a third of the popular prices.
Mom, can I have these too?
Honey, it's not in your contract.
Save on athletic shoes for the whole family. Sale price now from $9.99 to $22.99. For value with style, who'd have guessed? Payless.
The seasons are beautiful. But at Falso Heating, we think they're best left outdoors. When you come home, you deserve to be comfortable. And you can be, because Falso installs the latest high-efficiency furnaces from Carrier. And Falso provides fast, excellent service, too. You'll keep warm because we keep our word. Call Falso today. Keeping our word, keeping you comfortable. Since 1882.
When it's morning in New Orleans, coffee lovers head for Brennan's Restaurant for that all-important first cup of the day. This morning, we're secretly switching their fresh brewed coffee with dark, sparkling Folgers crystals. Can these people tell the difference?
He's a monster before he has coffee in the morning.
I'd like to be around while this was being brewed.
The smell would wake me up in the morning. This good coffee.
It's Folgers crystals.
Oh, really?
Is that right? It makes me feel like I could find my keys in the morning if I'd have a cup of this.
Folgers crystals. Start your day with the coffee rich enough to be served in America's finest restaurants.
Back again we are, the Syracuse St. Patrick's Day Parade. And Dan Cummings, Rick Gary, and Nancy Duffy, your hosts today. And we have about 20 minutes left in this parade. It's been just chock full of excitement, chock full of color, and of course the true Irish spirit today on a soft St. Patrick's Day. You are looking
back to Canada.
Spirit of Windsor.
Go.
Yes, another band from Windsor.
The Canadian connection that we have seen throughout this 1990 St. Pat's Parade, the Spirit of Windsor. Windsor, Ontario.
You know where Windsor is, Dan?
Of course.
Across from Detroit, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's almost like a sister city of Detroit.
They spent last night at Most Holy Rosary in the gymnasium. They bring their sleeping bags and sleep overnight.
How about that? This has really become quite a national parade. International, in fact.
International, Mexico, Canada. I saw someone today from Tokyo.
Did you really?
Mask, yes. It's a
I
rotary
think with Perestroika, we should have some Russian marching units next year. Huh? What do you think?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Be great.
James Harvey Spire Post, 787 of the American Legion, in Cicero. One of the many Legion groups represented.
You know, it's kind of appropriate to listen to Danny Boy while the military units are marching by, because it is a kind of a nostalgic war song.
Heavy military representation in this division of the parade, from Legion Post.
That's right. The 5th Division has always been the military division, kind of the mini Veterans Day parade. The 5th Division.
Folks along the side. Whoa. Enjoying.
Speaking of the military.
Are they shooting at us? People enjoying the parade along the street side and singing. There's an overview, the south end of South Salina Street as you're looking north.
Well, unlike last year at this time, we still have a heavy crowd from one end of Salina Street to the other.
Well, it was a lot colder last year, and you remember, boy, by the time 3 hours was up, I think we were frozen stiff.
Poor Rod Wood and Dr. Thomas O'Rourke, who was a judge last year, as he is this year. This is the 40 and 8 from World War I. We represented the trains in France with 40 soldiers and 8 horses crammed together. And they became so close, literally, that they formed 40 and 8 when they got in. It is an elite group of the veterans.
We're going to take a short break, and we're going to be back with the 1990 St. Patrick's Day Parade in Central New York.
It certainly is exciting to watch today's parade in downtown Syracuse, but you know, you don't have to wait for a parade to enjoy a visit to downtown. There's lots going on almost any time. If you haven't yet visited the shops in Armory Square or ridden the new Salt City Trolley, you may have missed part of the excitement of downtown. How about the new galleries on South Salina Street, or the exciting variety of downtown restaurants? More than 200 shops are also located right here. Isn't it time you visited downtown again?
You've heard big home improvement stores say that bigger is better. Buy more and sell for less. What they don't tell you is that they don't buy more of all products. They advertise 1 or 2 sale items to get you in the store and then grab your money on the other purchases. Bigger stores have big expenses, big rents, big payrolls, and big storage. CVE Supply wants you to compare lighting products. You'll see that little is better. CVE always has low prices every day and special sales for even better values. And you get expert personal service. Remember CVE Supply for all your electric needs.
apples for the student's report card.
Thank you to Lakeland Elementary School, your first computer. Congratulations.
Here's your new Macintosh computer.
We would like to present you with the 2 brand new Apple computers.
St. Patrick's Day, 1990, and it's downtown Syracuse, and it's Channel 9, and it's Nancy Duffy and Rick Gary and Dan Cummings. And we've had one heck of a time here today. Time has gone by rather fast, hasn't it?
Oh, it flies, and when you're having fun, it flies even faster. And we're having fun today, and so are the people from the VA Medical Center in Syracuse, proudly strutting their stuff.
Brief glimpse of the Sanborn Fire Company band. There's that guy with the long green tie again.
I told you that was in fashion.
This is a mini jet. Oh, there's the guy with the long green tie. He gets around, whoever he is.
That mini jet was from the U.S. Air Force, by the way. They don't fly that. That's strictly for promotional use. Yeah. Although it would be kind of a neat thing to, you know, if properly equipped, it'd be kind of fun to fly. Aim high, the Air Force motto. Now they're throwing something out of that van for the Air Force, and I don't know what it is. Maybe pens or what have you, so that you can enlist. Sign on the dotted line.
It was a 376 Combat Support Hospital. I think they're throwing out bandages.
It's their very own band aid. Oh boy, are we glad it's almost over.
Well, it's available in case anybody needs it along the parade route. And this is, I think, well, it should be, if it's in order, the hotels at Syracuse Square. And it sounds like the jazz band back there. Again, have you noticed, usually in the parade we just see only green, but there's a lot of orange and white this year. The Love Portrait Studio, and that's part of the Video Memories.
Video Memories.
And the wedding float. You know, we almost had a wedding as part of the parade.
Oh, what happened?
Well, the bridegroom wanted to do it, and the bridegroom's best man. But the bride had a little difficult, she just didn't want to wear a dress down the, the street.
I guess I could sympathize with it. It would have been kind of unique, though.
Next year for sure.
This is a band in their first ever parade. The Worcester Central Junior Senior High School Marching Band from Worcester. And let's applaud them for coming.
They sure do. They've been practicing. They'll be in many more parades, I'm sure.
Happy faces along the parade route, and look at that. Still 20% thick.
Easily.
Is that what you call when you describe a crowd?
20 persons deep, maybe.
Thank you.
Deep. What did you say? We're going to go away from you for a brief moment or two, and we'll be right back with the 1990 St. Patrick's Day Parade in downtown Syracuse. Don't go away.
I was just about to sail away and couldn't give that on Larry. The anchor's away, the gang went up, I'm leaving temporary, so good by mine.
If you shower with soap, this is what you're missing.
Zestfully clean.
Never before. Never with soap.
Zestfully clean. You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean.
Soap leaves a sticky film behind, but Zest rinses clean away. Zest deodorant lathers you clean, then rinses you cleaner. With Zest, you feel cleaner because you are cleaner.
Zestfully clean. You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean.
Hi, I'm Darlene from Adirondack Colonial Furniture.
Darlene would like you to come down and celebrate our 12th anniversary and St. Patrick's Day sale with us. At Adirondack, we have a wide variety of S-bend furniture. We also have self-storing, gear-driven innkeeper's tables.
What a mess. Don't worry, because my mom just bought a stain-resistant S-bend table at Adirondack Colonial Furniture.
Select from rockers, hutches, and many more pieces. Adirondack Colonial Furniture, corner of Fly Road and Route 298.
Fact. Upstate New York Ford car and truck sale figures show that Courtesy Ford outsold 96% of all other Ford dealers. Fact. Courtesy Ford is the only Central New York dealer open 6 days a week for parts and service. Fact. Courtesy Ford is the dealer that has actually delivered over 15,000 Ford cars and trucks to Central New Yorkers. Fact is, at Courtesy Ford, volume is our business, price and service is why we sell.
Now the train is driving up, I have no more to say. I thought from New York City, guys, 3,000 miles away. Hey, hey!
Welcome back, everybody. Dan Cummings along with Nancy Duffy and Rick Gary.
We finally made the trek outside.
Well, and as you can see, if you were with us since the beginning, Rick and I have shed our outerwear, and we now just have our, well, this isn't our underwear, but you know, the next level down, the weather has improved 200%. And this crowd has grown as steadily throughout the afternoon, I'm convinced of it.
Usually it looks like this when the parade starts rather than ends, and of course we know what happened last year. But this has been a wonderful, wonderful parade, I think.
I know it has been. Not only that, Rick, I'm convinced that the people who came downtown for this late morning when it was drizzling and downpouring were convinced they're going to stay no matter what happened. And I think they've given themselves credit for coming down and listening to all this fine music.
When you go to a parade...
Believe us, we've been telling them that all along, all week long. Even our own weatherman said that it was going to rain, but only shamrocks.
Yes, he did.
When you're a parade goer in Central New York, you've got to be very optimistic, if not Irish. And I think everybody here definitely, at least this morning I know, was probably 100% or 200% Irish and another 300% optimistic. So we've made it through it, and it's been great.
A lot of the reason for this is the man that just came up. He's the one who's been here since 8 o'clock this morning. He's one of our chief operating marshals, the chief marshal. And Mike Harrington, who, when he isn't doing this, he's also the captain of the Sheriff's Department. What's happening?
Well, right now, there's been a little bit of delay. The mummers were finishing putting on the last touches to their outfit. They waited till the last minute so they wouldn't be adversely affected by any rain, so they could wear the full costume. That put a little gap in the parade, but they're about 200 yards behind us and should be here momentarily.
And behind them is the rest of the 6th Division?
The rest of the 6th Division, which includes about 4 more marching bands and pipe bands.
And how did it go? Tell us.
It went very well. You know, we weathered this morning's rain without too much difficulty. The people were well prepared. I think our veteran parade marchers knew how to deal with it. A lot of people in the later division showed up, giving themselves plenty of time, but not too early, so they didn't have to worry about the weather. So we were well organized, surprisingly so.
And understatedly so, Mike Harrington. Our hats off to you for the organization that you and Nancy and the whole committee have done.
Well, there's probably well over 100 people who are involved between the planning and the process today, getting it all together. So it's a big effort. A lot of people in the community spend a lot of time doing it. It's a good way to start the spring.
And it's a lot of fun.
Yes, it is.
When you know that it's successful.
It's a great way to give a party.
Mike, thanks for joining us up here on the stand.
Welcome. Okay.
And congratulations for another job well done.
Thank you.
what we're getting to here with some of these, what sound like parting comments are because, in fact, before too many more minutes go away, we will probably have to leave you here on Central New York 9. But there's much of the rest of Division 6, as Nancy said, to come, and the rest of this parade. So
I'm looking back here, and I am just seeing the feathers of the mummers.
the feathers are within our eyesight at this point.
At least I think they'll be able to play us out for this afternoon, too, in this fantastic Irish party that we've had in downtown Syracuse, which will be going on and on and on, I'm sure, throughout the evening.
And there are other things going on as well. You know, the War Memorial has the Outdoor Sports Expo over there. And they've got real bears and real fish and a lot of interesting things. If people wanted to go indoors, they could stop over there.
And the Landmark Theater has its post-parade party probably already underway.
That's right. And so there's lots of things going on right in downtown Syracuse.
And, of course, the hotels at Syracuse Square. Always a big party and a band and so forth.
And as Grand Marshal Gene Doherty mentioned earlier today on the air, that this is likely to become a very big springtime event, even bigger than it is now, with people coming in to stop here on a tour, perhaps, as they tour the Northeast. They'll spend several days in Syracuse surrounding the St. Patrick's Parade.
I have to tell you what Helen Hayes said. Helen Hayes was supposed to be in the parade. At the last minute, she decided to go to Florida instead, but she said that she had heard, even in Hollywood, about the reputation of the Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade. A great lady, and you know, she's very, very with it, and she knows about us.
Nancy, the Mummers are on the air. The Durning String Band, the Marine Midland Mummers. Take a look, everybody. It's what most of the thousands and thousands have been waiting for all afternoon. It's what we've been waiting for. Here they are, from the city of brotherly love, the Marine Midland Mummers.
They are definitely colorful, and when they came here the first year, and I can remember this, it was a dismal day, and when they played, the sun came out. I don't know if the sun is going to come out today, but the rain has stopped, and they are going to see, you're going to see life and excitement to this crowd like you have never seen before when they march before us this afternoon.
Tonight they have the poster in front of them that says the Durning String Band presents Rio and a Sizzler, so you can get a sense of the kind of music they're going to be having. Palm trees. Oh, you can sense the enthusiasm just by watching the lead. They're in our eyesight now, the lead contingent of the Mummers as they smile and literally strut their stuff.
Boy, you could do a lot of dusting with one of those, couldn't you? You walk through the house and get it all done.
Ron Farina, our own producer, is related to the Mummers. He is from Philadelphia, and he has some of his relatives that are members of Mummers bands in Philadelphia.
Actually, how many Mummers bands are there?
There are 26, and of course their big day is January 1st, when there's always the annual Mummers Parade in Philadelphia.
All 26 in that parade, or just one?
That's right, and they judge them by 1 to 26. And every year, it's a real fierce competition. Many times, the parade has to be canceled because of snow and rain sometimes, but they always have it about a week later. But it's a big thing in Philadelphia, and for any parade organizer to organize a parade in Philadelphia in January, my hat is off to them.
That's even worse than Syracuse, I think. You can hear the crowd. There's no doubt about it.
You better stop here or I ain't just me. They're not even coming, they're so afraid.
This kind of caps a tremendous day here with the mummers.
Thank you. To Dave Eichhorn, our weatherman, because he did it. And how did you do it, Dave?
Well, it wasn't actually me. It was a friend of mine up there. We had a little talk last night. Either that or it was that shamrock that we had zoom in on New York State. It looks as though we got a little bit of luck of the Irish this time.
It was a little doubtful this morning, though. You would have been a bad guy.
No, well, you notice I didn't get here until I saw breaks in the clouds to the west. Then I figured it'd be easier. I wouldn't have all the tomatoes thrown at me.
Well, as you look at some of the people who helped put this production on for us, we thank them and we thank you for joining us from the 1990 Syracuse St. Patrick's Parade. I'm Dan Cummings, along with Nancy Duffy and Rick Gary. Hope you've enjoyed it. We sure have.
There's a reason I don't have a mic. I'm just speechless.
It may sound like Rio, but it's St. Patrick's Day in Central New York. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and thanks for enjoying the parade with us. Bye-bye.
Wheel of Fortune's on! Wheel of Fortune! I wonder what battle will wear tonight!
Join the wheelie wave.
This wheel's big! Tea, please.
And it's fun in any language.
You're under orders to watch Wheel of Fortune. More cash, bigger prizes, even patent
Wheel of Fortune!
Weeknights at 7 on Central New York 9.
You know, every night in my weather forecast, I'm talking about how the environment is affecting us, but you know, most of us don't think about what's happening to the environment.
That's why we bring you Earth Watch every night on 9 News.